That was Thanksgiving, Stanley. Did you get some Osteria cannelloni with crab and lobster and shrimp? Is it Uncle DT turkey? Little breakfast? Is that what you're gonna do? A little snack? Little snack? We got leftovers. Turkey's not as big as a pan. Osteria's delicious. Some dessert. A little something to drink for later. We gotta wake up and do Julesworks prep for tomorrow. Right, Stanley? Who's a fuzzy boy? Is that your 11th, 13th breakfast? Handsome boy. With a handsome boy. A handsome boy. Can't eat like that every day, Stanley. What? He said, yes, we can. And what about you? Won't throw it up. All right, where are we going? We're done, right? I don't think we need more than 13 breakfasts, buddy. Do we? Breakfast. Some more turkey later. Some more stuffed cannelloni. Ooh, the handsome boy. Oh, delicious. Pecan pie? Stella, you didn't get your cream. Okay. Say hi, Julesworks. We love you. We'll put this in Julesworks. Stella, she got in Julesworks. And I meditate, she says. Daddy, you didn't even meditate. You can't put Julesworks yet. All right. There you go. That's where nothing happens. And this is, if you join Patreon, you get more terrific videos like this. Right, Stanley? Nah. What? Your belly's too full to be rubbed. Your belly's too full. I'm going to let Stanley sing for a bit. Oh boy. Okay, Stanley, say thanks to Julesworks. We love you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. If I needed you, would you come to me? Would you come to me and ease my pain? If you needed me, I would come to you. I would sail the seas for to ease your pain. In the night forlorn, the morning's born. The morning shines with the lights of love. You will miss sunrise if you close your eyes, and that would break my heart in two. Lady's with me now, since I showed her how to lay her lily hand in mine. Loop and Lil agree, she's a sight to see, and a treasure for the poor to find. If I needed you, would you come to me? Would you come to me and ease my pain? If you needed me, I would come to you. I would sail the seas for to ease your pain.
Good days are coming, they're on their way. Good days are coming soon. Calves are a-dropping, tree buds are popping, wildflowers are in bloom. We had a dark, dreary winter, dismal and cold, rainy, and skies were gray. Now clouds they're parting, new life is starting, spring is on the way. For too long life was gloomy, ominous and bleak. We almost gave in to fear, but through all stormy weather we made it through together, and now good times are here. Good days are coming, they're coming soon. Good days are coming soon. We've got love in our hearts, we've got hope in our souls. Good days are coming soon. Good days are coming, they're coming soon. Good days are coming soon. We've got love in our hearts, we've got hope in our souls. Good days are coming soon. There were voices of evil, so many angry people, spreading fear and hate. But we came to our senses, we mended our fences before it was too late. Good days are coming, they're coming soon. Good days are coming soon. We've got love in our hearts, we've got hope in our souls. Good days are coming soon. We've got love in our hearts, we've got hope in our souls. Good days are coming soon.
That was Thanksgiving, Stanley. Did you get some Osteria cannelloni with crab and lobster and shrimp? Some Uncle DT turkey? Little breakfast? Is that what you're gonna do? A little snack? Little snack? We got leftovers. Turkey's not as big as a pan. Osteria's delicious. Some dessert. A little something to drink for later. We gotta wake up and do Julesworks prep for tomorrow. Right, Stanley?
Mm.
Who's a fuzzy boy? Is that your 11th, 13th breakfast? Handsome boy. With a handsome boy. I'm a handsome boy. Can't eat like that every day, Stanley. What? He said, yes, we can. And what about you? Won't throw it up. Alright, where are we going? We're done, right? I don't think we need more than 13 breakfasts, buddy. Do we? Breakfast. Some more turkey later. Some more stuffed cannelloni. Ooh, the handsome boy. Oh, delicious. Pecan pie? Stella, you didn't get your cream. Okay. Say hi, Julesworks. We love you. We'll put this in Julesworks. Stella, she got in Julesworks. And I meditate, she says. Daddy, you didn't even meditate. You can't put Julesworks yet. All right. There you go. That's where nothing happens. And this is, if you join Patreon, you get more terrific videos like this. Right, Stanley? Nah. What? Your belly's too full to be rubbed. Your belly's too full. I'm going to let Stanley sing for a bit. Oh boy. Okay, Stanley, say thanks, Julesworks. We love you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Writing you this letter to say I'm feeling better, getting used to spending all my nights alone. Wouldn't worry about it, I can do without it. I'm writing you to say I'm on the right track now.
If you come and see me, that would really free me. Tell me if that trip you took was good for you. Come and be my lover. I think you'll discover that I'm like a zephyr down the right track now.
Alrighty, Stella's nudging me. I think it must be time. Well, hello there. Howdy. I have a co-host. This is the host, Stella, and the Brain Trust, Stanley. And welcome to, hello. Yes, ma'am? Okay. Welcome to the 16th Julesworks Follies. It's working right? Volume? Meow. All right. What? Why? Well, Stella, you are in the show. Well, not in this moment. There you go. Come on, Stella. So that's Stella _ Rubin. Stanley right there. Now showing the Julesworks Follies end of monthly Warp Up Showcase number 16. Facebook reminded me that obviously the volume's working because you heard me say co-host. Hi, Stella. Stella, say hi. What was I doing? Reminded me that a year ago we were doing our 5th. So, except for January when I was moving into this Siler Yards place that you'll see some of in the videos and more. Here. Yeah. Oh, we didn't do 1 month. So, anyway, for one thing, you'll hear in recorded videos too, that it is the doing, I think, 45th anniversary of Star Wars, hence the dorkiness at the intro here. More than always is dorkiness. Catch! All right, rhythm of threes. Here you go. Ready? Pitch. Okay. So, anyway, Stella got it. If you have not seen this before, the Julesworks Follies is a collection of videos, some music, some has static videos, some are live and real videos. As sometimes performers send me specific things, sometimes they just say find it for the musicians, and we have pre-recorded stuff. And in this show, we also have some surprises. This is 16, so there's stuff to pull from. So some of the artists are pieces that are not brand new, so if you're starting to watch a video, not me live, and you start thinking, this seems like it's old, it is, and that's okay. Susan Ramirez, welcome back. Lunch, late lunch, okay. You don't have to respond, we're gonna be going for a while. So I'm gonna get my document here. I'm glad that you saw the email, Susan, and it's nice to have you. We have some traditions looking backwards. One is the Greg Turner Group at the end, finale, with a song and sort of homemade video and cats. There's the cats when we need. They're everywhere. So look, see, and I got a curtain up on that bathroom door today. I can't hear it, but that's okay. The bedroom is finally working. There's cords all over the house because we finally got the internet going. And thank you. Yes, the orange one, the yellow. Well, but that's fine. There's his name on his butt. Anyway, it's not really his butt. You can't put things on his butt. Anyway, and then we have the penultimate piece. I'm going backwards so you can know time, take your potty breaks, get more drugs, whatever you need to do, food, milk, or just watch the whole thing. We are about to start. But anyway, but I see some new names and refreshing. So we penultimately, and I'll remind you throughout, as the hosts. But anyway, you can toast with anything you want, including toast. We have a toast at the end, a chat, and a toast. So anyway, and then there's only I got the scenes sort of stacked. So there's really only 4 scenes, by which that means I'll give you a quick behind the scenes, but you're going to get another one later with the cats watching the cats. It got very meta. Anyway, using the software, you build a scene. And that is why very few people do live stream variety shows, because it's fun. We're getting better at it. Well, whatever is a drug to you. I knew you would have something to say. But, chocolate's a drug. I didn't say anything about the legality or strength of the drug. Anyway, so scenes 1 and 2 have 9 snippets, and I am going to let you know what you're going to see in the first one, and then I got that beer cooling off in the freezer. It's up and running, so it's time for me to relax and enjoy with you guys and see what we got. So we have, as I said to Glenda, she's still there, who said she liked music. There's snippets of everything, so there's going to be, and I build it such that they try to go from music to a performance. Some performance is music, and so on. So our first scene. Chocolate. We'll have a song live. In this case, the Mosey Boys are a group that David, Tom, Uncle DT played with. And I'm not going to tell you what song you're going to hear first from Murray's Irish Pub Live, because some of you will know it. One of my favorite spirit performers, I call him. Some of you knew him when he lived here, and still know him, Nicola Salas. He's one of the ones I just find pieces from. So I did find some that we haven't seen yet. And then I mentioned we sort of have a spotlight performer, Regina Rest, our storyteller international, who you all have seen before, but she's got a part 1 of, in her words, it's J and R have a chat, and R tells big serious stories about our relations in the natural world. They give us messages. So there'll be a first part, and then more music. I got some greatest hits from Rose, just random things, and from Margot Cole, and in 3 parts throughout scenes. So when things get split, you'll see the host, blah, blah, blah. There is a movie that is now an award-winning short film called Lab Rat, made by Matthew Gutierrez with Tori Frazee, and I'll give you the credits on that. You're going to see 3 pieces of that. Sean Heelan has music.
Later we have a piece from Pawnee River. So I think that's enough. Yappy, yappy, yappy. Feel free to chat, stick around. And the other thing I'll say, if you've never seen the show, is total length. There's a main show, which is what ends with the chat toast and we toast, but it'll be a while from now. And music, and then there's, if you want bonus, we can decide that in the chat. So let us, one more time. Stanley, I don't know, Stella went to costume change already. She's ahead of me. So we better hear that. That's a real sign. Take it away. Y'all enjoy. Thank you so much for coming.
At least I'm trying.
You're trying to some and that.
Well, why don't you come over here and I'll kick your.
You come over here and I'll get and I'll put the.
Yo, well, you, alright? You're just a fucking stupid puppet.
Oh yeah? Well, you're. Wait, I'm a what?
Yeah, you're a stupid puppet, alright? No one gives a. You're just a sock.
I'm a sock?
Guys, let me get back to my song. I'm funny, so funny.
I can't believe I'm a sock. Has my entire life been a lie? This whole time, I thought I was alive for a reason. I thought I was just really short. But it turns out, nothing has ever been true. What even is life? Do people even live life? Or do socks live lives? People wear socks on their feet. Has anything been real at all? Is life real? If I'm a sock, does that mean my son is also a sock? Son, are you a sock?
No, Dad, I'm not a sock. But you, on the other hand, are a sock.
My son was right. He wasn't a sock. But I was a sock. And as a sock, I needed to do what socks do best. Murder.
Sock killer. He's a sock that kills people. But don't mess with sock killer. 'Cause he'll kill you by being a sock. Sock killer. He's a sock that will kill your face. Sock killer. Don't mess with sock killer. Sock killer. Sock killer. No, it's a terrible idea. Sock killer. He's a sock that kills people. But don't mess with sock killer. 'Cause he'll kill you by being a sock.
Hey there.
Hey, you.
Hi, you. Who's that there?
I don't know. Last time I looked, it was Regina. Is it still Regina? You can tell. You're looking at me.
I think it's Regina. I was trying to remember why we were always calling you TR. What was the T? Remember, we had that running joke. And now there's a new PBS thing on Teddy Roosevelt coming up. But I was trying to remember from Regina Rest how we came up with TR. Truly Regina? Was that it?
The last time I looked, it was Regina. Think it's Regina.
It's TR. We not meaning to.
Oh, I know. I can't remember, man.
Truly Regina, maybe. The Regina.
Tremendously, phenomenally, truly Regina.
Okay. Short for TR. And we're going to do our little warm-up game. Ready?
Okay.
Hello.
No, you still have it.
Oh, wait. No. You got it.
Yay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Should I keep it here or throw it back to you? I don't know.
Oh, you want to give it back? Yeah. I better have it for the show.
can put it on my head. All right, wait, hold on. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ba-doom. Okay.
Oh, all right.
You
Woo.
got-
Good catch. I'm not good at that usually. All right. Well, I'll put this away for later in the show. And our first interaction here, we're connecting, and Regina Ress is our what? Oh, I typed you up. It sounded really cool, so I want to read it.
Okay.
What do I call you? Your note was Jay and I have a chat, and R tells big serious stories about our relations in the natural world that give us messages, and I called it Regina Ress, Storyteller Internationale.
Hey, oh, yeah, well, sometimes I am.
There you are.
No, I'm sitting here in New Mexico, and most of the people in the United States don't know it's a state. So, even just being here, it's internationale.
That has returned, hasn't it? That seems to be coming up more and more, that people don't realize that.
That this is a state. I read some article once that airline people sometimes ask people, do you have a visa? And they're like, no, I'm going to New Mexico. Yes, do you have a visa?
There's a new one. I didn't even like the old one.
Really.
We had problems with the old one. Well, there's a new one. Shit.
Yeah, man.
They got American money over there. Okay.
Well, this used to be New Spain, España. It was New Spain before it was even Mexico, so.
Yeah, actually, I just watched a short, interesting. Somebody did a 14-minute, well done YouTube video I watched earlier today about the history of the conflict and how we got all that. But not to pick on Texas, but it's a damn good thing because they wanted to make. What's crazy is how the left half of the western half of the United States, how its territories and the fight with Spain and Mexico is tied into the Civil War and slavery.
Yes, indeed it is.
Texas wanted to keep it annexed and keep slavery.
Right. Like history is great.
We'll take their barbecue and their music. They can keep their slavery. Anyway.
It's interesting.
Of all the places, hippie arty Santa Fe, they tried to invade, and this was what was in the clip. I didn't know. It's not considered a war or I guess it was a tiny battle. There was no violence. There was an actual battle in Santa Fe that determined that Santa Fe said, no, we are going to remain independent of Texas. Hi, Stella. And no, we're not going to have slaves. But there was no shot or fire. They said, okay, fine.
They did it all over by Pecos or somewhere. There was big battles over there.
That's the actual Civil War. Yes, Glorieta. Yeah. No, I'm talking about earlier. I'm talking about how it was that what became New Mexico, never became part of Texas and had slaves. Yeah. There was an actual. It has no name because nothing happened, but there could have been a real battle of Santa Fe. If you go to the Fort Marcy Park in the Cross, there's verbiage. They made some cool placards about it.
Go up there and look. I'm very interested in history, and I'm very interested in history of where I am and the geology of where I am. I always find, and they're usually combined. I mean,
one evening before it gets too hot, go walk up there because they're relatively new, like not too many years old, and there's a handful of plaques about that give you good info.
Okay. Thank you.
And then you, as you're making your way from where you park, then you read those things, and then you get to where you get a great view of Santa Fe.
Okay. Actually have to confess, I never went up there, so maybe now I have a reason.
It's beautiful. Go around sunset, and you can drive right up and park. Don't worry about the people playing music in their cars. They're just, maybe they'll give you some weed if you want it. Sometimes there are people up there, but it's a public. And as you're walking from where you park, you'll see them. You'll also see in the people's condos.
You go up that road next to it, right? It goes
right. So Artist Road, and you make that steep up by the condos, and then and there's a parking that's open till dark.
Okay, thank you.
Well, should we get into one of your stories? I'll just.
Sure, I have a couple stories, that are kind of been bouncing around my head. And I actually told one down in Albuquerque for a while. And what's that say?
I was going to say I'm gonna pull up a pillow and be quiet and listen to your story with the audience.
Believe in magic. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm giving you tell your story.
Okay. Well, so, just anybody who doesn't happen to know what's going on in New Mexico, the whole state is under a red flag alert because the whole state's on fire or could be on fire at any moment. And I happen to be a fan of the planet Earth. And so it's been pretty intense here with the wind and the fire and the whole schmagegi that's going on. And it brought to mind a place that I happen to adore, which is the Big Sur coast. And I was privileged to spend a lot of time there. So I've got a couple stories. So that's what I thought I'd tell. This one's is kind of short about the cliffs. I call it the cliffs of Big Sur. If you've never been there, you should go. But on much of the California coast, the land interrupts the sea. It just kind of goes, hello, and it interrupts the sea in this foamy exchange. It sculpted the cliffs, and there's caves, and the sea and the cliffs are in what I call a long-term dance. And it's a kind of do-si-do. It may take longer to disappear than the beaches. The rising seas are going to change the land. And the rising seas are going to change the creatures that live on the continental edge. If you don't know Big Sur, it's this wild stretch of California coast. The Ventana Wilderness clings to the last bit of the continental U.S. and then plunges into a cobalt ocean, the Pacific. There are high cliffs and there's boulders that form the edge of the land. And the Pacific is so blue, and these waves crash against golden brown edge of this continent because the grass there is usually gold and brown. And something that I also love is because of the waves, there are negative ions that just spark the air from the force of the wave and the wind on the rocks. So I've walked often along California Highway 1. That's that narrow road that winds. It's very tenuous. It winds between the cliffs, and they rise straight up. In some of the places on that road, they just rise straight up from the edge of the road on the east side. And then on the west side of that highway, they go straight down to the ocean. And along the edge of that road, Highway 1, is these little lacy flowers, and it's wild fennel. It's wild fennel, and it fills the air with this familiar scent because it's like the scent of licorice, really. So walking on that narrow highway, you kind of bathe in this brilliant light and electric air and the aroma of licorice. And often when I've walked down there, because I had cousins who were living out there, that's how I got to be there. Often when I've walked down there, there have been creatures that accompany me on those walks. Just offshore, for instance, I've seen gray whales swimming north. They're traveling with their Baja-born babies, right? Because they go down to Baja, get their babies, and then take them back up north. And you can see them right off the edge of the continent. And I've heard the barking of seals and laughter. It's like the chatter of otters is like the laughter, and it's loud. It just kind of echoes up there. Well, one morning, many, many years ago now, I had a personal visit from a red-tailed hawk as I was hurrying down that very narrow little 2-lane highway. I was walking south. I was smelling the licorice and feeling the air. It's just so alive. And I noticed that over my head, there was a red-tailed hawk. And he was flying lower and lower and lower in circles above my head, right? And then it was so low, I could see its feathers, its eyes, its beak. I thought, is he looking for lunch? Breakfast? It was very early morning. Is he looking for breakfast in my hair? I didn't quite know. So I stopped dead in my tracks. I didn't move. It circled me, right? I felt its presence. I watched it. It reeled, it circled, it circled, it circled. But I had to go somewhere. I was going somewhere. You know, we human beings, we always have to go somewhere, right? I was like, I was on my way to work, actually. I was on my way to wash dishes in the Esalen Institute kitchen, because on that particular day, I was doing it as an exchange for a day pass onto the campus, and so I could go sit in the hot springs. So at some point, I'm like, oh God, I gotta go to Esalen. So I bowed to the hawk. I thanked it for the gift of its presence. And then I walked away. I walked out of the circle because he had made this circle, man. I walked away. And as I walked down that highway, the hawk flew on ahead of me. And when I got down the road, he began to circle me again. Well, this time I stood still. Clearly, there was nowhere else I had to be but right there. I mean, perhaps the hawk was reminding me to slow down, Regina. Slow down. Pay attention. Maybe I was taking for granted that those cliffs and that road would always be there. Well, maybe they will, and maybe they won't. Now, how long will hawks keep flying over those cliffs? There's a lot of hawks that fly around on those cliffs of Big Sur. How long will they be there, right? How long until the waters no longer support the otters, whose chatter I love so much, and the seals and those gray whales and their babies? How long until the scent of licorice is erased from the air? And in fact, how long until those very cliffs have disappeared into that rising tide of the sea? Well, that day, I waited until that hawk had finished his circling. I waited until he was finished with me. And then, and only then, I went on my way down the road.
All right, thank you. That was the Big Sur tale, huh?
It was one of them. A true story, true story, true story, true story.
Believe it, the hawk. Yeah, I think. Well, especially when I had more hair, I think I might be more likely to have something to eat, maybe in here than in your head.
Well, I did. You know, I was like it because it was so amazing. He was very low, and he was just
Yeah.
very low, and he was just going around me, man. And you know, but at some point it was like, oh, Regina, you're supposed to be in the kitchen washing the dishes. You know,
Right.
like important, right?
What's important, right? Yeah. Big Sur, doesn't have some connections to? Wasn't that a beloved hangout for some of the Beats and stuff too? I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I don't know. Well. Is that it for our first story?
That's it for our first story. There's a beautiful book called Big Sur and the Oranges of Hieronymus Bosch, and that's Henry Miller. Henry Miller lived there, so a lot of Beats and folks would come and visit Henry Miller. But it's unlike those Paris books of his, it's about living in Big Sur. And there, I haven't been there for a while, but there was a library that had been his place, the Big Sur Henry Miller Library in Big Sur. I told stories there once, and it's right there, on those cliffs. So the Big Sur and the Oranges of Hieronymus Bosch is his book about Big Sur. Cool.
I liked it. All right. Well, folks, stick around throughout the rest of this. What are we? The 16th, the end of May, Julesworks Follies showcase for more from Regina Ress, Storyteller Internazionale. Thank you.
My grandfather worked this land since 1893. Then my daddy gave his heart and his soul till he passed the land to me. What little soul the wind has left 'neath these ocean waves of sage. Grandfather, you wouldn't know your open range. Earth, wind, rain, and fire lead us where they may. Though we try to tame them, they will not be chained. Wind, fire, and rain. So I labor with all the love of the ones who went before. What lightning fire came, it swept the land and it left a little more than blackened spikes and thirsty ground where cattle cannot feed. Grandfather, at least you're not here to see. Earth, wind, rain, and fire lead us where they may. Though we try to tame them, they will not be chained. Wind, fire, and rain. Every night, every day I pray the rains will come to renew a sea of grass I can pass down to my son. May he make wiser choices than the ones before him did. Grandfather, I believe we owe you this. Earth, wind, rain, and fire lead us where they may. Though we try to tame them, they will not be chained. Earth, wind, rain, and fire lead us where they may. Though we try to tame them, they will not be chained. Earth, wind, fire, and earth, wind, fire, and earth, wind, fire, and rain.
I need to create something for Julesworks. It's happening pretty soon. But what will I do? Oh, I know. The AARP magazine came and has a great article called Finding Their Heroes. It's about the people who inspired athletes like Greg Louganis and authors like Amy Tan and political figures like Daisy Hirano. And I have a hero mentor of my own, Lewis Black. Lewis became my mentor when he had a cruise way back in 2010. The cruise promised days and nights of comedy and fun and a time with your favorite comic, Lewis. The cruise could last a full week, so we had a lot of other comedians too, including a comedienne, Catherine Madigan. I remember all of their names because I bought a t-shirt. And the t-shirts got all of their names. And, oh, well, I never throw anything out. So that's why I still have a t-shirt from 2010. Oh, and of course, I have Lewis's autograph. His magic marker never washed out of the t-shirt, no matter how many times I washed it. I liked the first cruise so much that when they had one the following year, I went on that one too. So now I have my badge from 2011. And during that cruise, we had comedy classes for anyone who wanted to learn how to be a comic. It was taught by Vic Henley and some of the other comedians, not Lewis. He was resting up for later, I guess. And then we had the grand finale. All of the members of our class had a chance to go to the main ballroom and give their comedy routine to all the other cruisers who are not in the class. Why have I got performance issues? Anyway, my routine was put last on the bill. I found out later that if you were last, that was because you were the headliner. So I returned home back to Albuquerque, and I had my t-shirt, my badge, and a comedy routine. And I found out that the theater group that I was part of was going to have a talent show. They called it East Mountains Got Talent. So I auditioned, and I got to be part of the talent. And then you know what happened? The state bar decided to have a talent show too. They called it The State Bar's Got Talent. So I joined that one, and my comedy career was just taking off. I found out about comedy shows at the Malarkey Pub and at the Dam Bar, and of course, the Dirty Bourbon. So I joined those too. And then I moved back to Santa Fe. And whereas Albuquerque had a lot of interesting comedy clubs, they didn't in Santa Fe. Had some interesting theaters, no comedy clubs. So I put away my comedy routine. It's now in the section called Word in my computer. So I can get it out. Do you want to hear it? I hope Margot is interested, and how about Susie? Of course, I hope Jules is interested. So here we go.
Hi, Jules and Julesworks. This is Margot from Video Productions and Teatro Paraguas. I just wanted to share a little holiday song with you that's called The True Gift of Gifting from My Little Pony, The Best Gift Ever episode. So the song goes like this. The most magical gift that I can recall. It could have been big or small or even nothing at all. It doesn't matter, you see, if it's from my friends on whom I depend. No matter what you spend, it will be perfect to me. The true gift of gifting is what it means inside. We can show we care, spreading love far and wide. The true gift of gifting is totally free. and you're the best there is at giving it with the friendship that you give to me. We've all been friends forever, and look how far we've come. The holiday brings us close, and now it's time for fun. The greatest gift you give to me is more precious than gold. Never ended, always mended, and it can't be bought or sold. The true gift of gifting is what it means inside. We can show we care, spreading love far and wide. The true gift of gifting is totally free, and you're the best there is at giving it with the friendship that you give to me. So if you want to see more songs like that, I suggest checking out a musical piñata for Christmas, which will be available on Zerb by the time this video airs, I hope. And if you want to see my work at Crypt Video Productions, that's at cryptvideoproductions.com. Bye-bye.
Hey. Do you like it?
No. Was the place hard to find?
I have not seen sunlight in 3 years. Everything is still so disorienting.
How's your blood sugar?
I had a burrito by the casino on the way down.
The casino? That's a terrible idea. They have cameras.
I didn't say at the casino, I said by the casino, the one next to the big gas station.
Somehow I'm not convinced.
I mean, it was my favorite spot years ago. It was right next to Camel Rock. It's only open during random times. I mean, this must be my lucky day.
Well, your day is only beginning. We're not even in a different state yet.
Well, I mean, the clothes fit, I shaved, I had a burrito. I feel like a brand new man, especially after escaping out of that hellhole.
Repeat the itinerary back to me, please.
Okay, we finished this cup of coffee. I walk down the street to the Santa Fe Depot. I take the 1:02 p.m. southbound train all the way to the Belen station. I get off at 3:20 p.m. I wait for when it's coming. 2001 Saturn S Series forest green in color.
Very good.
I make contact with the driver, Mr. Bo something?
Think Creed Bratton.
Bowbody. Mr. Bowbody will tell me where I cross the border, either in Arizona or in Texas.
Good. I've already communicated with Dr. Alejandro across the border. Once we get you to them, you'll be fine.
I'll be fine as long as I can keep on breathing this fresh air.
I know your conditions down there were...
Keep him down! Keep him down! I said hold him down! Hold him down! Hold him!
I can still feel what they did inside of me.
Hey, I saw. Okay, I saw, and I couldn't let them do that to you. It's why I helped.
Fire horse, fly me far, fly me from this fool's place to the Ferris wheel of stars. Fire horse, fly me fast, fly me to the future place that never has a past. Walking alone, I sing the Martian desert song. Down on my knees, all alone on this Martian sea. Red sand, red rose rock, red royal ribbons to this crimson mirage. Walking along, I sing the Martian desert song. Down on my knees, all alone on this Martian sea. Walking along, I sing the Martian desert song. Down on my knees, all alone on this Martian sea. Walking along, I sing the Martian desert song. Down on my knees, all alone on this Martian sea. Walking along, I sing the Martian desert song. Down on my knees, all alone on this Martian sea. Walking along, I sing the Martian desert song. Down on my knees, all alone on this Martian sea.
Hi, I'm Rose Provan, and I play the part of Grandma on Julesworks Follies. And I'm here today to tell you why you should watch Julesworks at Theater Walk. First reason, at Theater Walk, we're going to be live. Yes, usually our shows are virtual on the YouTube channel at 5 o'clock in the evening at the last Saturday of the month. Oh, well, you're right. It's not always Saturday. Sometimes it's been Monday. Well, I suggest that you'd better watch our publicity to find out what date will be on YouTube. Now, there's a second reason. At Theater Walk, we're going to have our 10 minutes, and the 10 minutes will be the most creative work. Our YouTube channel has a lot more. It's not 10 minutes, it's musicians, and it's actors, some reading poetry, and it's puppets. And of course, there's lots of talking from Jules. Our third reason is at Theater Walk, you can talk to us after the show. On YouTube, you have to use the chat feature and then write your questions. Eventually, we'll get back to you. And then we'll find out on the last Saturday of the month, if it's in May, and it's our publicity, we'll be all set, and you're going to love us.
All right, hey there. Make sure, yeah, we got audio, video, that's me. Let's see, let's adjust this one a little bit here. All right, so let's see here. Cheers, had a few sips. It's a true blonde, whatever that means. It means it's delicious. Summer beer. All right. Thank you all. As I had said, there's a lot of Land of Tranquil Light. I feel like we know who you are. Jane Davis. Hi, great Jane Davis. Wow, you guys are killing me with awesome feelings. Thank you. All right, carrying on. As a professional. Yes, let me be professional here. As the shirt clearly shows. Like I said, beer, space. Anyway, okay. So, Susan, oh, right. She's talking about the underpants gnomes and the sock puppets. I have lots of socks. I was thinking that, like, John Lennon, I go on Star Wars, they would make cool puppets. So I don't know. I'm like torn. Maybe the socks that are already torn could become puppets. Our puppets, the family, the clan of Crystal, as I call them, they're in Hawaii. Well, they're not. The puppets, I don't know. The people who do the puppets. That is, by the way, he's too young, but that's okay, he's not here. We helped get the puppet master, he's he's going to start in the fall, so he should be in Hawaii. Because he's about to start a New Mexico School for the Arts in the fall. He better be ready. They're going to, he's not going to have to worry about math and science and all that shit. He's only going to have to do good shit in school. What the fuck? And have that shit in Baltimore. I was banned from our class, you little fucks. I'm not drunk and I'm not cursing. I did curse. Okay, Jody, of course. Sorry. Hi there, you made it. All right, well, I'll do the callback, but I am going to, because this Julesworks has been doing things since I moved from the East Coast here in the 90s. However, Julesworks Follies has been going on for over a decade, and the person, the Land of Tranquil Light, who just identified her name, used to write plays that were, for us, that were very strong and serious and not silly and stupid like I am, but I was in them. And so anyway, we'll see. We might get some new material, whether it's a play or if she's writing poetry, or we'll see. But anyway, it's nice to reconnect, nice to meet and see them. And but I want to thank them because they were in the original, the players, the team, the cast, whatever it is, evolves. We maintain, as I said in Theater Walk, and all of you know, so I won't ramble for too long, that anybody can participate. And we encourage them to, whatever their level. The goal of Julesworks, whether it has been live, Rose makes the joke that you'll hear about venues being shut down that I make, many venues closing under us. We never actually caused a venue to close. Over the 10 years we were doing the show live, and now on here, and we're going to carry on doing both. So we will carry on last of the month. By the way, but for those watching, it's not normally on a Sunday because Sundays I'm usually, and thankfully Susan emailed me and we got her here, doing community radio at Madrid from now 3 to 6. But the radio station is physically moving, so any FM radio station, just a little knowledge or whatever, nonsense, no, it's not nonsense, has to transmit all the time. So Otto is playing music for the weekend. Since I got fired, I've been covering more radio shows too, which is great, and not being exhausted and soul sapped all the time. And I started partially working a new job before my unemployment even came through, so I couldn't even get fired properly. But I don't have to limp to rehearsals and feel like death from a job for a little bit of money. So and get unemployment. So thank you. That was a long cheers to thank everyone who's ever been in a Julesworks, everyone who will be, and all of you watching. So let's carry on. But first, what you saw in reverse order that was the piece that didn't particularly air in tribute that Rose had us make for Theater Walk, which just happened that Jody was typing about, and it was videoed. So at some point we hope to share. Theater Walk used to be left there, like a block away from where I now live, but I never lived there. And I realized another funny thing with Uncle DT. I moved into what would be the best neighborhood 5 years ago or whatever to watch the July 4th fireworks. The year after, it was no longer the best. It was across from a park that people probably would have killed. They probably put trash cans for 3 days to block their parking spot. I probably had the best place in town. Up through it was the place I lived, if that makes sense, to watch. And then they moved where they do the fireworks. So it was kind of funny to also discover that I now live by Teatro Paragos, where I do get to perform. So I can leave at 6:30 here for a rehearsal there through that wall, and I'll go up there at 6:30, and I'll shut up soon. But I just thought that was kind of funny. That's twice. So anyway, but that was Rose is smartly taken to writing me as a silent character, which I'm obviously not that good at in real life. Sean, the Healing Band, Mars, Part 1. There'll be 2 more parts. Matty Gutierrez, Tori Fraze, and I'll get you the rest of the credits. Other people I know. Speaking of Paraguas and Theater Walk, Tori was part of it, and that's where I reunited with Matty when he saw the shorts that I just got to be part of. Margot Cole, True Gift of Giving, who is part of Teatro Paraguas. So I didn't quite realize that we were going to do the piece that Rose thinks is going to sound hissy, but I kind of fixed pretty well from a Zoom today, so I was finding past pieces. That was one of them. That was from JW5. Oh my goodness. All right, Sister Susie, maybe Susie taught me the word sync, and I resisted for such a long time. I don't know. I don't want to be a believer. It was, you heard me rant earlier, it was 5, I think. Yeah, this is 16. It was show 5 a year ago. I didn't plan that. But Facebook, the only good thing about Facebook are the memories. It reminded me yesterday or today that it was, I guess maybe that was a Sunday during quarantine. Whatever. Or it wouldn't have been a Sunday. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a Sunday a year ago. It would have been Saturday. So that makes sense. It gave me the memory that we were doing number 5 is what I'm trying to babble about. Which, as it turns out, is where that piece from Rose came from. Earth, Wind, Rain, and Fire by Jim Jones. Regina Rest, Storyteller Internazionale. That was part 1. Part 2 is coming. Nicola Salas. That was called Something Deep, directed and edited by Nicola Salas, my spirited actor. And we started off this song, I'm sure most of you figured out. Oh, that's why you were talking about, whoever you were talking about coming. Wagon Wheel. That was Uncle DT with the Mosey Boys in Wagon Wheel. And I'm supposed to tell you who the Mosey Boys are. So we mosey on down here to my notes. Boy, I'm really punny today. And then I am going to shut up soon. I don't have the notes, whatever. I have them somewhere else. I'll find it. Okay, so next is another set of 9. And then the pieces get a little shorter as we carry on. This is where I'm supposed to remind you, but it's going to be a while that we get to toast after with the final piece from Regina, but I'm getting way ahead of ourselves. But you can do whatever you want. Drink your milk, eat your toast, whatever, drug, chocolate. No one's going to know unless you type it, and enjoy. So we're going to have another song about... we're not all cowboys in New Mexico, but this song is called The Cowboys in Mexico. As you saw, award-winning Jim Jones and his very talented wife coming up. Regina Rest, part 2 will be after that. Nicola Salas, the title of the one you're going to see is title and video. And then you'll get part 2 of the video of the movie Lab Rat, some random rows, more treats, and there's some treats that Margot and someone else I'm not going to mention don't know they're probably going to see it through the rest of the night. Another song from them Mosey Boys that you will recognize. Another past gem from the past, more Theater Walk and Margot. And then some behind the scenes right here today. A video from today. So you get 2 pieces that were made today. Again, the benefit of being fired from a job that was draining my soul and energy such is that the show was pretty much ready when I went to bed last night. So we got to add to it today. And I think that's a good place to say, let's carry right on. Human being, what's up? Hey. And see, I'm calmer. I can see the chat. Jane Davis, if you're still there, great to see you. I saw your name before. And let's get into scene 2. Thank you, wonderful people. Take it away.
Caballero, vaquero, with skill and with pride, north to the land grants they came. To round up the cattle they'd rope and they'd ride, they gave the cowboy his name. The good night and loving the Santa Fe Trail, driving 'em north through the snow. Through the stampedes, the outlaws, the rivers they'd cross, rode the cowboys of New Mexico. Riding the range in all kinds of weather, pushing the herds as they go. In the right place at the right time, just doing their job, rode the cowboys of New Mexico. Cattle drives ended, but the ranches survived. They scratched out a living somehow. The CS, the Merino, the Gray and the Bell, betting their lives on a cow. There were cowboys of color from the north and the south. Each had his own point of view. But it didn't matter the color of your skin. What mattered is what you could do. Riding the range in all kinds of weather, pushing the herds as they go. In the right place at the right time, just doing their job, rode the cowboys of New Mexico. Sing of the past, but the future's unclear. Who'll step up to make the next hand? With the skills and the pride of the old buckaroos, who's gonna ride for the brand? Now we've got our history, we've got our songs, and we've got a debt that we owe. For the pride that they ride with, the glory they've won, the cowboys of New Mexico. Riding the range in all kinds of weather, pushing the herds as they go. In the right place at the right time, just doing their job, ride the cowboys of New Mexico. They're in the right place at the right time, just doing their job, the cowboys of New Mexico.
Well, hi there. I'm back, and thanks for inviting me back, Jules. Those of you who maybe saw the first story I told, which was, I don't know, 6 years ago. No, I mean, a little while ago on the same program. I was talking about Big Sur, California. So I've got another story about Big Sur, because I did have the privilege of being out there on and off for a while. And this one, I call this one In a Teepee Made of Charcoal. And you know, I've been to a lot of gorgeous places on this gorgeous planet. I'm madly in love with the planet Earth. And when anyone asks me what's the most beautiful place you've ever been, I generally say, well, I don't like to deal in superlatives, but no place can beat Big Sur. So it's that wild piece of the California coast. And only when the winter rains come, the hillsides turn emerald green, but normally it's this golden brown. That's a Golden State, you know, it's this golden brown color. And there's Highway 1, And the road winds between the cliffs that rise on the east side and then fall away to the ocean on the west side. And as I said before, when you're walking down that road, it's this brilliant light and this electric air from all those negative ions, which are just fabulous. And because of the fennel that grows wild, you smell licorice in the air. Well, rising from the narrow and very steep walled, there are these narrow, steep walled canyons that are carved out of that Ventana wilderness. There are dark red-brown giants, the redwood trees, and their needles are growing at the top. They look like a mop of blue-green hair. They really do. And when you look up at the redwood trees, your eye is drawn up to that open sky, and so many hawks, soaring hawks. And in the winter, you see the whales swimming south to give birth in Baja. In spring, you watch them coming back north. It's just the beauty of Big Sur opens the senses, and it enfolds you, me, anyone in its embrace. It really does. I love Big Sur. So usually when I was there, I was staying with my cousin Ray. He was living in this tiny cabin, variously perched just above the highway. And one crystal clear morning, Ray took me for a walk. And walks with Ray were often a challenge, but they were always interesting. So that morning we left his cabin and we went up on this dirt road above the cabin. We made our way up this very rutted road, and it wound very cautiously up the mountain behind the cabin. And at each switchback, we stopped and we looked out at the sweep of the hillside and the sea, out to sea, just spectacular. Well, at some point, Ray stopped and he gestured like, come on, we're going down. And he disappeared down this very tight switchback off a road onto this narrow dirt path. Now, lore has it that the trail had originally been made by the Esselen Indians hundreds of years ago. And one of Ray's semi-official projects was to clear and open some of the old native trails in the Ventana wilderness. So we walked very carefully along the inside edge of this steep footpath, as opposed to ancient granite in the eastern mountains. And that's what I was used to, because I spent a lot of time in North Carolina, in the Appalachians. They're granite, they're old, right? They're solid. This earth is new out there in California, and it crumbles. So walking on the outside edge might create a slide of pebbles or yourself down that dark canyon below. So we walked with very cautious steps along the fragile trail down to the bottom. And we're in this very narrow valley between the walls of the canyon. And there was a stream. It was clear. It was cold. Oh, good. It was so cold. And we waited and we washed some of the road dust from our faces and then looked around. There'd been a wildfire through that canyon a few years before. And the trunks of most of the redwood trees were charred black. They were black. Fire is one of the reasons many of those canyons are so dark. They're narrow, but there's just a lot of fires out there. And those trees are black. But if you look up the trunk, you see that above the line where the flames had blackened, the thick bark was still the red-brown color that gives the trees their name, redwoods. And at the top was this canopy of blue-green needles. These giant trees, they were badly burnt, but they were still growing. So Ray gestured for me to follow him, and he led me along the stream to one particular tree. There was this dark hole in one side, and it gaped open like the mouth of a cave. Without saying a word, my cousin ducked and entered the tree. And I followed and was inside the tree, and I sat down with him in the dark. It was dark. It was very cool in there. We were inside this burnt out tree trunk. And I realized we were sitting on a soft mound of charcoal. The blackened skin of the tree was wrapped around us like a teepee. And we sat. We just sat there, silent, perfectly still. And we were immersed in the silence, deep silence of that tree and the earth. And as I sat in that teepee made of charcoal, my heart, my senses opened to the spirit of the tree. And this was the message I got. And I give this to you. If our roots are firmly planted in the earth, and like the redwoods, all of the redwoods, they reach out and intertwine in the community of redwoods. Their roots intertwine in community. If our roots are firmly planted in the earth and like the redwoods reach to intertwine, if our skins are thick and resilient like the redwoods, and if we reach up with our spirits toward the sky and the universe beyond, then no matter how burnt out we get, from the fires of life, not only will we continue to live, we will continue to grow.
All right, good one. That was a message. Good message. Talk to the trees. Trees have a lot to say.
They do. Trees, quite frankly, are my favorite people.
Yeah, well, in the world of Tolkien, they aren't trees. We are not trees. We are imps.
That's right. Well, and it's so interesting because that experience of mine, that was long ago. And so now, the scientists have figured out trees talk to each other, right? Trees say, one of our members over there needs something, and they send chemicals through their roots, right? Mm-hmm. And help each other, or they say, this guy's a problem.
Right. They had all that stuff in that movie, the first one, Pandora, and people were making fun of it. And I was just like, you're so stupid. And I don't know if you heard that beep. You probably didn't. The audience did. Somebody's mouthing off about this new Top Gun movie. And I don't know. I need to stop even interacting with this nonsense on Facebook. I've been weeding people out, but it's just sometimes you just see people, you try to make a comment and they expect you to make a coherent statement on fucking Facebook. Some dumb bitch, I'm sorry, I'm just going to call her a dumb bitch, kept shaming me on a Towns fucking Van Zandt who would slap the shit out of her for making fun of the way someone spoke. It's like, lady, I'm not submitting a fucking essay. It's a goddamn comment on YouTube. And you're going to keep going. She kept going for a week about my rambling typing. I'm like, I'm not going to waste my brain cells and time typing to you properly. I don't even know who the fuck you are. And this other guy just called me convoluted. I'm like, well, fucking deal with it or block me. Fuck off. But anyway, but I don't know. People and their opinions. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one and they all leak.
Oh dear.
But anyway, thanks for the great another great story. But yeah, I was gonna say, as Tolkien in his world, they say there is nothing, and it would take 10 times longer than I'm gonna take. There is nothing worth saying in Entish that doesn't take a long time to say, and there's nothing. Yeah, I love that line. But, where the trees that are talking, but they don't like to be called trees. They're ants.
There's a great book about trees and their messages, and called the Overstory. Did you ever read the Overstory? It's incredible. Here, I have it here. I have it here. It is by Richard Powers.
Okay.
It's about pay attention and what we're doing to the trees, you know, and about logging, redwood.
I mean, what we do to this planet and then wonder why it's pissed at us. It's like, really?
Yeah. Well, we're sitting here, you know, again in New Mexico with the planet desperately trying to let us know something.
Desperately. Well, but then this one's interesting, and I thought of something early on, but I don't want to interrupt you. So let me say that first. We're talking about the difference between the newer forests of California and granite. There's the granite mountains in New England, New Hampshire, and I was wondering. I have no knowledge of this. I just wondered. You know, the Grand Canyon and all that, the way the West Coast, you know, was once the bottom of an ocean. I wonder if that's why on the East Coast those mountains weren't, and that's why there's that. You know, is that part of the difference? I don't know.
Oh, you know, I can't really answer that. I know they're older. I know they're worn down. I spent all this time in Western Carolina, and that's the bottom. I was at the bottom of the Appalachian Trail, where you know. The top of it, but it's that chain very old, whereas the West is they're pushed up. I think the West has been pushed up by the tectonic plates, and so it's still moving around out there.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, everything's in constant movement and chaos. Everybody, the universe, everybody seems to forget that too. That you know, as much as there's nothing wrong with believing in magic and hoping for some peace and serenity, and not having to constantly get your dumbass worked up over stupid Facebook comments and shit, but that it is also a volatile, ever growing, expanding, dying, recharging universe.
Well, I'm also, besides a tree freak, I'm a volcano freak. So I've spent a lot of time to kill away a volcano in Hawaii. I spent time in Tungurahua, down in Uruguay. Oh my God, it just flew out of my head. Anyway, Tungurahua. This is terrible. I spent all this time in that country.
Is that South America you're talking about? Or who?
South America.
Ecuador.
Ecuador. And we're sitting here looking at the, you know, Jemez Mountains, which have this little fire going on over there too. That is a super volcano. I mean, that's a that's you know, like one of three on the continental U.S. that were.
The caldera, when that exploded, what did they say? The ash covered almost the whole planet.
Well, and solid matter got as far as what's now Arkansas, and the caldera goes 12 miles across. You know, it's just, it's not, when the first time I went in there, I was telling stories. I've told stories in that caldera twice. And I said to the ranger, this volcano is not extinct, is it? And they said, no, it's not.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not about to explode, but it, you know, it's like
that
this.
Was not. Some are. Although who knows with all the changes. And then what was the other thing I was going to say? Maybe I'm not going to remember that. From what we first just started talking about, doesn't matter. Mother Earth being upset, but well, thanks for the story. Maybe we'll say goodbye to the audience in a few with a little toast. Well, thank you for this one.
Yeah, I'm here to serve.
To protect and serve. Regina Russ, Storyteller Internationale.
All right, this is my first official song that's not part of the 21-day quarantine productivity challenge. And, you know, everyone loved these videos so much, meaning just my parents, so I decided I'll keep making them. This song is called Screaming because I'm not screaming as much as I usually like to scream. Why is my life crazy? I just wanna worry about stupid little things, like where the fuck did I just put my keys again? Oh, that's right, they're hanging up on the key stand. Idiot. I just want to stress about my lunch. Like, why the hell my sandwich only has 2 pickles? I need a bunch. I've got bigger problems, though, you see. When all I want to do is wait for Skyrim to load while I scream. Why can't I just masturbate in peace and complain about how I can't find that one porn vid with nice boobies? I just wanna spill a glass of water on the floor and cry. I just want to stress about my lunch. Like, why the hell my sandwich only has 2 pickles? I want a bunch! I've got bigger problems, though, you see. And all I want to do is wait for Skyrim to load while I scream! Ah! Thank you.
I still don't know what they wanted from me in the first place.
Your natural immunity to diseases was detected in some blood work. My superiors said it might have had something to do with your paternal grandparents and some plasma tests run in 2016.
Wow, you even got the abuelos involved in this shit.
Their resistances, let alone their cell structures, alerted some very important people. They couldn't be located, nor could your father, so they grabbed the next of kin. You. And when we injected you with SARS-CoV-19, you didn't even break a sweat.
No, the sweats came from maintenance adjusting the goddamn temperature every 10 minutes.
The antibodies you developed after were unique, to say the least.
So I am a beautiful snowflake.
Statistically, yes. When we get you to Alejandro, we can do more tests.
I'm not ready for anything else in that department.
You don't understand. This isn't the government we're meeting with. We're going to create a blood serum and distribute it internationally for free. If you had stayed in that holding cell, they would have chopped you up until you were nothing but pieces in petri dishes. And after, they would have either kept the information to themselves or sold it to a pharmaceutical company, to the highest bidder. You're a person, inside and out. You're capable of changing everything.
If you say so.
Okay, we gotta wrap this up. Are you sure your scrubs are destroyed?
Absolutely. The cop didn't see a thing.
Wait, cop? What cop? You didn't mention a cop before.
It's no big deal. I was pulled over on the side of the road with my flashers on. This cop pulled over and asked me if I needed any assistance. So I just pretended that I was a tourist admiring the scenery. It's fine.
Yeah, except that doesn't matter, because every cop car has a dash cam and every cop has a camera on his person.
Well, I wasn't visibly breaking any laws. I was only looking for an inconspicuous place to burn the scrubs.
Do you know how many people live in the nearby town?
No clue.
A little over 12,000. This lab isn't even on the map, and the Tauski Valley was a stretch to reach by foot.
You know, it is charming when you're not running and hiding in the sagebrush. I actually got a beautiful view of the sunrise.
You're not listening. The entire area is easy to monitor, and a person of interest like you will stick out like a sore thumb, whether you're getting a burrito or pulled over on the side of the road.
Well, should I take a sooner train?
It's 12:30 already. There aren't any.
Well, look, I parked the car exactly where you told me to. There is no trace. No one is going to be able to find anything in the next half hour.
Look, the people we're running from are already familiar with the escape routes. They know that unless you're taking a tiny plane out of Taos, chances are excellent you're getting out of here from Santa Fe.
But they can't read minds, though.
They don't need to. We have one little airport in town and then the train. Again, it's incredibly easy to cover.
Do you think they're here? Now?
I don't know. I'm not going to chance it, though. Walk back to the safe house, lock the doors, and wait for my call.
I can make the train.
There's no time for that.
It is better for me to run right now than hide.
They're gonna be looking for you.
They don't know what I look like right now. There's still a chance. Please.
Okay. Okay, walk to the station, maintain a low profile, and keep an eye out. Most of the tourists in this town look like the older type to flip out at restaurants, or they're loud families from Texas. Anyone by themselves, anyone not looking like what I described, could be someone after you. If you get spooked or uncomfortable before you board the train, you walk away. Get back to the safe house and wait for my call.
What about Mr.
Body.
Yeah.
I'll reach him. Remember, low profile.
I got it.
Walk away.
Dr. Sands.
Hi, I'm Rose. I'm a widow who would like to be a married widow, but I'm not sure how to get a boyfriend. I don't have one now. Well, I looked up what I should do and found I should find one right where I am. In the office? Married men. In church? Oh, damn, there goes the phone.
It's okay, I paused it. So you can start over or pause?
Yes, we'll start over.
Okay.
Hi, Jules and Julesworks. This is Mario Cole from Crypt Video Productions and Teatro Paraguas. Jules informed me that he writes poetry, and I decided I wanted to read one of them. So the words you're about to hear belong to Jules Rubin, not to me. So the poem goes like this. Everything in the world is hard to open. Eating some carrots, the world is difficult to open. Packaging, wrapping ideas, the brain, because of the almighty world stopper? No, not just that, though that is a thing too. Like it, so far perhaps the next part belongs or is going to be better on its own. Keep clean, safe, alive as best we all can, star made of us floating through the sky, loving when we listen, souls passing through the moon. One day we will all be cleaner, safer, and still floating together to the best we can. When it feels like the moon is sighing, crying behind the night clouds, hiding maybe we all are, but can peek out from time to time with the wind as the whole world sighs. To live, enjoy, breathe, a little even. Stephen Jules Rubin, written May 7, 2020. So, I hope you enjoyed that, and if you want to hear more of those, Jules, you just let me know. See you soon.
Well, we sure appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We appreciate Emily and the whole crew for taking care of you and taking care of us. We got CDs, we got mailing lists, we got parent advice, we got everything you could possibly want right up there. I hear that train coming around the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when, but I'm telling you, nice and busy. Time keeps dragging. When I hear that train moving on out to San Antonio, I'm
ever done, but I shot a man at Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that train moving, I hang my head and I cry. Well, I bet there's lots of rich folks in some fancy dining car. I drank coffee and smoked a big cigar. I know I had it coming. I know I can't beat. When I hear that train moving, that's what tortures me. Which got to take. Go on, I have enough. That's Adam Chow. Thanks, everybody.
Three questions for her that she already knows is going to answer. That is, what drives you to create with quick productions, support Emily Julesworks, and overall, roughly three are little or not little things that engage creative buttons. If you could recreate, update, create your own piece respectfully, inspired by some things which help develop your creative responsibilities, but whether with your own troupe working with Julesworks others, what might you want to pick? And the third is if you could think of any collaboration with Julesworks, Character Progress, and even Quick Productions, there's any sort of dream creative output, what might it be? All right, Margot Cole.
Okay, so I would say that what drives me to create with Paraguas is I've known them for a long time, and anything I can do to help their work be even better is going to make me extremely happy. I make films about people with disabilities through Crypt Video Productions to increase understanding of disability and also dispel the stereotype that disabled people would rather die than live. And I would also say that I support Julesworks because it's just good content and the jokes are really funny. Wow. And I would also say that if I could update any of the stuff that I've done over the years, it would probably be the first film that I did, because there's things I would want to change about that one, just because, I did it a long time ago. But for now, it's staying exactly the way it is. And things that push my creative buttons would be just seeing something that's well done will tend to give me writing ideas, or listening to a good song.
All right. Well, thank you for popping into the Julesworks Follies microcosm here on the virtual theater walk Santa Fe. And you've got some websites and maybe a little info, right?
Yes, if anybody wants to see the work done at Crypt Video Productions, check out cryptvideoproductions.com. All of the films are also available on YouTube under the names Drama-Sided, Only Those Who Limp Out, Crips Not Creeps, and A Stroke of Endurance, teatroparaguas.org.
If they go to that site, they can then be linked to lots of great content on xerb.tv. And so if they go to Crypt Productions, they'll see what that's all about. Based off the East Coast, correct?
Yes, I cast disabled actors in all of the films, and all of the content is written and directed and produced by me.
Wonderful. Wow, we weren't out of time, but I do want to remind them that they can also check out Julesworks, JULESWORKS, Follies YouTube channel. And thank you, Margot. Thank you, Crypt Productions. Thank you, Teatro Paraguas. Santa Fe would not be the same without that entity. So cheers. All right. Any last word? Cheers. Thumbs up.
Cheers, everybody.
What are you watching, Stella? What you watching?
Little snack. We have leftovers.
Stella.
Turkey salad ready in the pan. It's really delicious. Some dessert.
Stanley, who's that?
Little something to drink for later. Yeah, we got. Julesworks.
Who's that?
Prep for tomorrow. Right, Stanley?
Right? Stanley? Stella? Who's that? Good looking people.
Who's a fuzzy boy?
Who is a fuzzy boy?
11th.
Who's a fuzzy?
15th breakfast.
What? He's eating plenty. That was Thanksgiving, remember?
My handsome boy.
He's always Thanksgiving.
Can't eat like that every day, Stanley.
Oh, yes, he can.
What? He said yes, we can.
What? Echo.
Won't throw it out.
November, May, same thing.
Right.
Stella, are you busy?
What the heck?
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm doing this. Stella has a new house. This is me getting ready today. No, you can't see me because I gotta change shirts. It's very dirty. You might want to place your order, as I was saying. Oh, here comes the boss. That's her bonus. Because I don't know how focused she is on focused, timely cooking. She'll help you, especially eat the creamy parts. And you can use me as a reference if you'd like. Llama, that my niece made that. There we go. Look. This wasn't just a waste of time. Nothing's a waste of time, except for time itself. That's true. Yes, if you do Patreon, that's where you can see this nonsense. All right, we better get this up and get going. Good boy. Stanley, you're so handsome on TV. That's how it happens. Behind the curtain. Magic. There's something. Hey, Stan. Hey, Stan. Stella, you in your house? In your shack? All right. Thank you. I'm taking photos too. All right. Stella, Stanley, the brain trust of Julesworks. This is Jules the Folly. Quick look. Goodbye. All right, hey there. Hey, hey, hey. All right. There we go. Get some more of us. See what we got going on around here. And yeah. Wherever there's a George Harrison nut, there's a ukulele. Not to mention shiny ribs. L-O-L-A, Lola. Okay, it's way too early in the night. But I did grab a prop that is more relevant. Speaking of tree hugging, and yes, I actually know where some things are because I am little by little get ready for more business, putting the house in order. Oh wow, I'm a shadow. Haha, that's pretty cool. Yes, I had a Star Wars Instapot that I haven't put together yet. That box is waiting. This couch I'm on came from for it to be Stanley's for a little bit, and then not be the house, but you know, baby steps. And our kitchen still hasn't gone up there for a while, and I'm gonna stop busy camera work in a minute. There's the famous bathroom. There's a Star Wars curtain. I'll show you later. And Stella's in the bedroom resting at the moment, enjoying. She's listening now that we. Thank you, Daniel Werweth. He came over and helped me get the internet working fully. Of course, then I realized that my Roku could have gone wireless. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. Triple Jules, something. That was, yeah, hobby, that was ridiculous. That was, but, okay, I'll speak up. I'm talking to the thing. Here. That's what I say about all these voices in my head. There's flies in the kitchen. That's what I could play. These are John Prine fly sweaters that don't actually touch flies because they're collectible. There's flies in the kitchen. I can hear them, they're buzzing. And I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. How the hell can a person go to work in the morning, come home in the evening, and have nothing to say? Okay, I thought this was not going to be a long break. But anyway, oh yes. Somebody joined Susie on the Patreon, so I have to make more videos like opening up the George Harrison box set and more. Oh, hey, I forgot last time. I'm not doing this yet, but I don't forget. Oh, don't forget to pick up the Sharpies you just dropped you. Anyway, we're going to open up this merch later from Jamie Harris, mystery bag. Anyway, we're going to tell you what you just saw in Carry On with Scene 3. As I said, these scenes are longer than before, which is good because I'm actually like watching. So that was, let's see, reverse order. That was earlier today. We had one of those from February ago when I ran into Michael Handler, who I am missing his birthday party right now. Happy birthday, Michael. That's okay. And by the way, one of someone very helpful to me in my life, and many of us here, Kirk Ellis, is in France right now. In fact, he was at a burlesque club all weekend. He's posting some fun photos, interesting reactions. Speaking of people who know Jim Jones, Kirk Ellis wrote the John Adams miniseries, one of the best miniseries ever to be on TV, pretty much in history, and has finally got a project greenlit. Speaking of Ken Burns, and who just did Franklin, so Kirk is writing and producing with a great director a series right now with Michael Douglas playing Ben Franklin. But he did help. The reason I mention this, not just to brag that some talented people like me or whatever have helped me, is because he also, starting now that I'll watch after on PBS, the annual Memorial Day concert, Kirk Ellis helped write. And the best part of those things, the music, Rhiannon Giddens is on tonight. She is wonderful, Rhiannon Giddens. Most of it tends to be, Toby, Luke, Brent, Keith, Kenny, Chestnut kind of stuff. We're outlaw country fans around here. Speaking of Pearl Haggard, but Rhiannon Giddens. But Kirk writes they get good actors to narrate these pieces from that Kirk adapts from real vets, and it's on PBS right now. It's all I'm babbling about. And anyway, but the point that I was also babbling about was that we're all missing other things, so thank you for watching. Behind the scenes today, oh right, Michael Handler's birthday, that's how I got to that. Metaphysical Biscuit is letting yourself interrupt yourself and then getting back to the thought. There was that Stella trailer that you will remember from a while ago, because I got home and he sent me a video, and as I played it through the big gold TV, which I didn't have then, but it still had a sound. It's better now. Yes, I'm not speaking full sentences because I'm trying to rush and get back to the show. But I do want to say that it's fun to watch Stella watch herself, and that's why she's resting. Yes, I know I said something for you, Susan, and I forgot what it was, but you're welcome. Anyway, all right. So that, yes, Stella has a shack behind me now, and it was upside down. You're right. The Julesworks Follies, that was Margot Cole. I was just finding some greatest hits from her and Rose, and that was one. Folsom Prison Blues medley, as I posted, the Irish Pub. Here's to the Irish Pub, Pearl Haggard. Margot kindly read from the past. It's fun to see those old videos, by the way. It's fun to see me in the other house in the different lighting. And I will say something I've said on air recently, which I forgot what I was talking about, but that doesn't matter. For a while I had not, some of these people in the chat, I'll say, interrupt myself, because it's relevant, or people that I met and love, watching Quarantine's live streams, in particular the award-winning live stream from our Reverend Todd Snyder that was every Sunday, the whole Quarantine's, and our buddy Hayes Carl, who is probably hopefully going to be on Metaphysical Biscuit in July, as well as the Shiny Ribs we're talking about hopefully this next Sunday. Anyway, met those folks, and we've stayed in touch through music we loved and live streams. But that for a long time, when it was winding down as such, I was like, I can't go back to that place, but mentally yet, but sort of did by accident. So in a similar way, and this, if you start hearing banging, the only bad thing about living here is something went wrong with the insulation between ceiling roofs, and I pulled the bad straws. Oh, sorry, people up there. I don't even know what they look like. I met the neighbors next to them. They don't even know them. So they're not neighborly. They don't mean to stomp on my head, but they're some sort of trolls with heavy shoes. Management's been trying to deal with it because I was actually, as someone who, once I'm asleep, because I take squirt triggers to sleep, woken up. I was woken up fucking last Saturday when I was performing for the first time with Julesworks Live and Rose for 2 years, and woken up at 5:30 in the morning by that stomping. So I was like, can you please ask these people, are they wearing shoes? Like, it can't be that bad all the time. So I was like, I'll buy them slippers. Anyway, that was a definite digression. All right. We had, let's see, Random Rose before the poetry. Thank you, Margot, for reading my poetry. That's what I was saying. And seeing those old videos is fun. Please feel free to record more. It's fun because I write those things, but I just sort of, I knew I wasn't going to be a professional writer because I can't focus and edit, as you can tell. But poetry, that's why I call it poetical outbursts. And that part 3 of Lab Rat will be coming. Nicola Salastine Video Originus Res will be our chat and toast in the finale coming up in a while. Not too long. Cowboys in New Mexico, Jim Jones. So moving forward, I think it's a little more than halfway, but the next song, the first song in the next piece is Jim Jones and the Cowboy Way, Alan Chapman live, halfway down the Devil's Road. I was trying at first when I woke up, when I went to bed, I didn't have it halfway, but thanks to these pieces I added, I think it's close-ish. I don't know if I can time it. Well, an important question from Nicola Salas. I'm moving into what you're going to see in a second. And wow, either the chat's broken or y'all got quiet. Sorry. Part 3 of Lab Rat. Short snippet of beautiful music from Sean Heelan. Our piece from Brett Berman. And Brett PQ River is not present. And this time, nor is Frank Nora, because Frank Nora is usually watching from Jersey, I think. Frank is in Truth or Consequence, New Mexico with Brett Berman, which you will see in Brett's piece with his band Fido 3 now, they're up to. And then the already infamous chat from today. Rose is not the only person to have a buzz in her Zoom, but I couldn't fix it from here, but I did manage to use filters and editing quickly within 20 minutes to make it sound less bad than it did and probably does when she's in a live Zoom, and we'll try to fix it live, Rose, don't worry. But I think in the end, in the little chat you're going to see, and Rose doing Shakespeare coming up, she sounds better. I made it so that I ended up sounding worse, which is fine, because it's her piece anyway. And then there's a random Rose after that, and I'm not going to tell you the surprise coming. It involves someone who doesn't know it's coming, and then a cover of one of my favorite songs, more from the Mandolin Stars. So thank you all so much, and just a reminder, so yeah, this is probably halfway or more, because scene 4 is shorter, and I ended up cutting scene 5 pretty much. You might do some lirilato if you want, and we're already getting there. Well, this is not a short segment, but it's not as long as the previous two. Is it 9? No, we're back to 6, not 3, and it was 9. Are you guys there? Is there anybody out there? Yes, okay. Surprise, yes, involves one of you. If I say more, it won't be a surprise. Thank you. Yes, that's okay. If you want, you can always watch these things on playback on our channel right here, Julesworks Follies, and it won't be on a Sunday, but we will do the next one at the end of June, either Saturday or Monday. And speaking of June, halfway through June, I didn't get the ticket. Oh, that's what I didn't have time to do. Well, it's my mom's fault. She didn't write me. It looks like I'm going to go to my, speaking of aging myself, 30th high school reunion in a couple weeks in Baltimore. But we don't want to talk about that. Okay. It is time for the next piece. And then we're not, when I come back, we'll be closer to the chat and toast with Regina and the Greg Turner finale. There are traditions of a chat with someone and a toast without y'all, but we're not there yet. I'm just saying. And then bonus if we want or not. Anyway, thank you all, and take it away. Oh, I lied. I forgot, because I got to do a costume change. Speaking of traditions, but I wanted you to see this. Speaking of craziness and moods, this nice purple shirt about moods, mood and mind. So anyway, back to it. I apologize.
Caballero, vaquero, with skill and with pride, north to the land grants they came, to round up the cattle they'd rope and they'd ride. They gave the cowboy his name. The good night and loving the Santa Fe Trail, driving 'em north through the snow, through the stampedes, the outlaws, the rivers they'd cross, rode the cowboys of New Mexico. Riding the range in all kinds of weather, pushing the herds as they go, in the right place at the right time, just doing their job, rode the cowboys of New Mexico. Cattle drives ended, but the ranches survived. They scratched out a living somehow. The CS, the Merino, the Gray and the Bell, betting their lives on a cow. There were cowboys of color from the north and the south. Each had his own point of view, but it didn't matter the color of your skin. What mattered is what you could do. Riding the range in all kinds of weather, pushing the herds as they go, place at the right time, just doing their job, rode the cowboys of New Mexico. We sing of the past, but the future's unclear. Who'll step up to make the next hand? With the skills and the pride of the old buckaroos, who's gonna ride for the brand? Now we've got our history, we've got our songs, and we've got a debt that we owe. For the pride that they ride with, the glory they've won, the cowboys of New Mexico. Riding the range in all kinds of weather, pushing the herds as they go. In the right place at the right time, just doing their job, ride the cowboys of New Mexico. They're in the right place at the right time, just doing their job, the cowboys of New Mexico.
Okay, so here's a relevant question with everything that's going on.
Alan Chapman. We thought it was an outlaw song, and then people kept saying, "This sounds like all the politicians we know." "You're sure this is not a political song?" We said, "Yeah." But it's called Halfway Down the Devil's Road.
One morning, wondering where you are, where you been, how you got this far. You're sliding down the slippery slope, you're cheating, stealing, liar. You're halfway down the devil's road, you got one foot in the fire. Your mama raised you better, your daddy he did too. Your path was straight and narrow, tried and true. When you kept taking wrong turns, now you're going for higher. You're halfway down the devil's road, you got one foot in the fire. What's this old world coming to? Now the law is stalking you. A bullet waits around each turn. You're halfway down the devil's road, you're gonna burn. So easy, pretending black was white, pretending bad was good and wrong was right. Your hopes and dreams are ashes on your outlaw funeral pyre. You're halfway down the devil's road, you got one foot in the fire. What's this old world coming to? Now the law is stalking you. A bullet waits around each turn. You're halfway down the devil's road, you're gonna burn. You only get one second chance, no one but you can break the spell. Don't leave redemption to circumstance. Choose a right trail or wind up in hell. Now the time has come for you to pay the toll. You're the only one who saved your soul. Your fate is in your own hands, the price can't get no higher. You're halfway down the devil's road, you got one foot in the fire. You're halfway down the devil's road, you got one foot in the fire.
Thank you.
Okay, so here's a relevant question. With everything that's going on, everybody's been thinking about this. Would you date a mermaid? I don't know if they even have vaginas, but they are really good swimmers, which means they're probably great with their hands. Would you date a mermaid? She could drown you if you join her in the water. So don't cheat on a mermaid, because if you do, you might die. I mean, you can have them dating anybody. So don't cheat, don't steal, just love, don't deny how you feel. Just be with a mermaid, and you'll understand why motorboating's great. Would you date a mermaid? She could bring you lots of fish from the sea, unless the fish were her homies. And then we'd see, because friends are an important part of a relationship. Would you date a mermaid? Could almost drowning be like erotic asphyxiation? But it wouldn't be just about sex. It would also be about don't cheat, don't steal, just love, don't deny how you feel. Just be with a mermaid, and you'll understand why motorboating's great. Would you date a mermaid? I would. I think I have some kind of mermaid fetish, but I treat her with kindness and love, and we live in a house by the sea, and we'd somehow have children, and they'd grow up to be epic DC heroes, or maybe they'd turn out to be weird fish, weird people, but I'd love them no matter what, just like their mom. And I won't cheat, won't steal, I'll just love, 'cause I know how I feel. I'll be with a mermaid, 'cause I understand that motorboating's great.
He's gonna kill me on the goddamn train.
She was pretty quiet, you know. Your friend. Like a church mouse.
I think we're done.
Now, we're done.
Hi there. Hey. Who's that?
It's Rose Provan.
You seem a little, what's going on, Rose? You have to talk.
Well, I thought that I was getting you kind of tired of Grandma. I'm tired of Grandma. And so I thought about doing some of the things from my past. My good past, not my boring past.
Well, right, if you probably mean weird things, but you have a fascinating past. I will just say we never get tired of Grandma. And I'm sure the chat is reflecting that we love our Grandma. And so, what did you find? You were looking through your scrapbooks?
Yes, and I found my previous work in Shakespeare and thought that's what Julesworks needs, a little high-class stuff. It has poetry, but it doesn't have Shakespeare.
Speaking of lawyers, I brought a prop for you.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, moving on. Yes, you were saying? I'm sorry.
Shakespeare.
Yes.
I'm in Taming of the Shrew when it was performed at the Saul Arts Theater in Albuquerque. Saul Arts is much like the prior Julesworks venue. It's gone out of business.
Wow. Venues?
It did exist at the time that I was performing there, however. Although we had a huge leak in the roof, and of course it rained during Taming of the Shrew. But probably when I wasn't quite on stage. I wasn't always on stage anyway. The play was directed by the fabulous Brad Howard, who knew, of course, that Shakespeare had men play the women's parts. And Brad asked himself, well, what will I do with all these fabulous female actors in Albuquerque? I'll have them play the men's parts. So I got the part of Baptista. Baptista is the father of the two girls, Catherine the Shrew, and her beautiful sister, Bianca. And I have my photograph that's up on the wall in my kitchen at all times. I don't know if it'll be too...
Little tilt it towards the camera. You're almost there, and bring it up a little. Oh, now we got a glare. Back towards you.
That's
so up, but back. Up. And now, can you just... Nope, you had it down a little. We don't need to see you. Can you tilt it straight? There, well, they get a look. So which one are you?
I'm the one that's a man. The one with the mustache.
Okay.
And you are, of course, my beautiful daughters, Bianca and Catherine. And so I got myself a sport coat at Penny's, and I discovered I'm a medium short in a man's sport coat. And of course you saw the mustache, but I did have a little trouble with it because I kept wearing it the whole time we were in production, and it started to droop on one side, and I kept trying to push it back up. Finally, I just took it off. Right. Anyway, so if I do a little Shakespeare, I would be doing the part of Baptista, but of course, he appears with other people, and I could probably send you a bunch of sides, but I haven't done that, and we haven't been that organized. So I will just read his lines as though we ought to know what the other responses would be.
Yes, you take it away, because I respect Shakespeare. I've done Shakespeare, but when I played Shakespeare right before the shutdown, I figured I could retire from Shakespeare for a while. So you do. You take it away.
There were a bunch of men being played by women, on the stage for this scene. It's about the second scene in the play, and I am meeting everybody. And I say, "You're welcome, sir," and he, "For your good sake. But for my daughter, Catherine, this I know. She is not for your turn. The more my grief." And Petruchio responds, and Baptista says, "Mistake me not. I speak but as I find." Talking about Catherine. "Whence are you, sir? What may I call your name?" He finds out, and then goes on, because there are all these other men there too. And I say to them, a thousand thanks, Signor Gremio. Welcome, good cambio. But, gentle sir, methinks you walk like a stranger. May I be so bold to know the cause of your coming?" And he finds out, Baptista finds out, that these are the men who are going to be tutors for his two beautiful daughters. "Lucencio is your name. Of whence, I pray?" He finds out. "A might of man of pizza, I report. You are very welcome, sir. Take you this lute, and you this set of books. You shall go see your pupils presently. Hola, within. Sirrah, kindly lead these gentlemen to my daughters, and tell them both these are their tutors. Bid them use them well." Then he goes back to Petruchio. "We will go walk a little in the garden, and then to dinner. You are passing welcome, and so I pray you all to think yourselves." So that's the beginning of what turns out to be a meeting between Petruchio and Catherine, which, of course, does not go well.
Oh, that's actually one of the Shakespeare plays I was in. I was Petruchio's servant.
Aha!
Yes. Well, thank you. You were too busy performing, but the audience got to see that Stanley and Stella were very appreciative. Stella's resting and enjoying, and Stanley wagged his tail and listened. And it says, "Now showing." This is for you. And one more thing. This is for you, Reveal, and for our the fans of Lord of the Rings that watch Julesworks.
Oh.
All right. And then also, lastly, for me, the reason I'm all Star Wars out is because just to make sure that some of us realize that our bodies do age as much as our mentalities may not. It was in 1977, this weekend, that a little movie called Star Wars came out, which means...
Remember it well.
One of my earliest memories was my grandma. It would probably my blood grandma, not you, not our Julesworks grandma. It probably was not 77, but my grandparents had friends who owned movie chains. I met one at my grandfather's funeral who actually had an assistant who went on to become the head of the academy about 15 years ago. He died very young, Baltimore guy. So anyway, all that to say that the memory I had in my mind as a kid of running around a theater and the Death Star is a very possibly accurate memory that my grandma, probably more 78, 9, not 77, or maybe 77, would have taken me to her friend's theater back in the day when if you ran a movie theater, you bought the movie. So what I'm saying is that because born in 74, you could think something that you have as a memory your whole life from when you were 3 wasn't accurate. So getting 20 some years later to have proven that it probably was, because I remember this thing on the screen very vividly. So anyway, Star Wars weekend. Oh, and some of you saw either on Zerb TV and still can, or live like Rose, the plays at Teatro Paraguas, which is literally right left there as you went out that door. Anyway, my scene partner that became two of the scenes, my acting partner Catherine, is such a Star Wars nut. She's at the convention with 1 million other Star Wars fans this weekend. Anyway, but anything you have to say about Star Wars, Grandma Rose?
No, I haven't really seen very many of the sequels because I just really remembered what the original was like, and that one really stuck with me. Not that I owned a print of it, of course, but it was wonderful.
Yeah, the first two are the ones. Well, I think we should see if we can make sure that the audio is fine, thereby meaning, I guess we should say goodbye. Any final words?
Well, I'm going to reprise some of my other previous works for the future. So, end of June, you'll see Grandma playing Lady Bracknell.
And we certainly won't do that by a buzzing Zoom.
No.
This was, if the audio is not terrific today, audience, we'll add here. Thank you for indulging. I miscommunicated and back and forth. I didn't realize we were doing this, so we want to share it with you. If it's a little audio buzz, thank you for understanding. Right.
I guess I'm going to get it with the buzz too, right?
Well, I'm going to see what I can do, but if I can't do anything, I will talk later. I think we should let them watch it.
Okay.
With a warning, if it's needed, but we'll find out. So I'm going to say goodbye, and you'll see me.
I will, at 5 o'clock, unless I'm in Texas, when I guess it's 6 o'clock.
Well, we could get really complicated and metaphysical on that time subject. Okay. I don't think we need to do that. Thank you for the Shakespeare fun.
Taming your
Alan Chapman. It's we thought.
Okay, so here's a relevant question.
Oh, it was going. All right, now it's up.
Hi, Jules and Julesworks. This is Margot Cole. I'm going to be doing a dramatic reading of a piece called Anxiety by Sue Marabayam. My apologies if I mispronounced that. So, Anxiety. When she woke up, the night was hot and close, but she was drawn to the cool light of a full moon over the hayfield out back. Stepping outside, she caught an intangible whiff of danger and froze. It was too still, like the faint locomotive hum before a tornado. Before her, two tiny twins slept in a perfect trust. Everything was quiet at the big house on the hill, every light off. Although she had no particular complaint concerning the neighbors, she scrupulously avoided them. They were not her kind, and she might as well be invisible as far as they were concerned. On paper they owned her land, but they didn't know the least thing about it or care. At any time they might take away everything she had treasured and worked for all of her life without ever acknowledging her stewardship or achievements, or even the fertility of the soil. The things that meant everything to her had no value to them, but her security was in a higher power. Her worries sprung from her daily reality. Was there food, water, shelter, and safety for her family? Then she was content. But there was something sinister in the air tonight. Silently and at a speed a barn owl passed over the horizon without stopping to hunt. She listened hard as only someone with the responsibility for the lives of others listens. A twig snapped. Large shadows stepped out of the trees, deer a small herd. The stag ahead seemed as nervous as she was. At his signal, the herd took off running. Fawns protected in the center, for a destination very possibly further than she'd ever been in her life. Suddenly the moon was gone. She was blinded by immense headlights. Her heart pounded as the roar of the iron behemoth and the stench of its behemoth engines sent her like a shot to her quivering babies. She embraced them shuddering. Now she knew what was happening. Tomorrow the hay and the wildflowers and anyone trapped within them would lay flat and lifeless. The field giving no more shelter, no food, no pleasure. There would be more noise and the stench of relentless killing as the hay was turned into a big, dense, flammable bricks, as she sometimes recalled in nightmares. Just as the land would begin to recover and bobwhites and butterflies returned, it would happen again. The babies whimpered as their world shook. She comforted them with milk. She would forage briefly in the morning before the sun rose and dogs appeared. Life seemed to get a little bit more difficult as each year went by. She had rolled gleefully downhill again and again with her parents and siblings, but the hill, too, had been flattened with their time, and there was nowhere else to play those games. The stream they had delighted in was gone. More often than not, they drank from a trough now, fearing as far as the frog pond toward the house, lest they be seen. The woods had dwindled, and many creatures that depended on the woods were gone. But there were grubs and clover in place. Her children might quietly thrive, and it would soon be time to hibernate. The groundhogs and their more numerous cousins, the squirrels, would survive here a while yet. So that was the piece, and if you want to see more pieces, I would suggest continuing to watch Julesworks, checking out teatroparaguasnm.org, and if you want to see more of my work, you can check out cryptvideoproductions.com. Bye.
I've been robbed by the rain, driven by the snow, drunk and dirty, don't you know, and I'm still willing. Driving the road late at night, see my pretty Alice in every headlight. Alice, Alice, and I've been from Tucson and Tucumcari. It had to be the tone of pop, driven every kind of rain.
Okay, I'm not going to ramble on for too long because we want to get to the finale. But I do have to show the toast because Regina wants to see it, but she's also getting sleepy. There we go, Susie. I'm sorry. It's not really a pellet. Shh. We don't say those words in this land. It's Hobbit. We're safe here in Hobbitville. They can't get us. Snush, snush, gosh, gosh, gosh. Oh my God. Okay. If you're not a fan of Lord of the Rings, you think I'm insane, which I am. Okay. I have a nice shirt though. I got in subbing. One of the good things about subbing on KMRD is you get to see DJs you don't usually see, and I saw a couple at the show, Todd Snyder in Albuquerque a few weeks ago, and then saw that DJ just this week, and he pointed out rightly that the Susans, both of you, you know the songs that Todd did for John Prine, and he does epic stories. And anyway, Peter is his name. I almost called him John. That's why I didn't say his name on air. He rightfully said that in particular, I mean, how perfect Todd is. He had seen him a bunch. But I said he's kind of hitting a stride, like the stream that this DJ did not know we all watched for a year and a half. This live stream existed, but anyway, I feel like I don't think Todd sobered up, at least to that, thank God. But he's just the right amount of maturity, and I dare say I'm getting there, to be crazy and great at the same time in the stories, and it's epic. So anyway, I said I wasn't going to ramble on for too long in this set, and I'm not. So that was the Mosey Boys. The mandolin that you all love is David, Uncle DT, Tom, I have it somewhere else, who, there's no reason not to say, is the reason why I got fired and before my unemployment benefits kicked in, was already working. I'm helping him out. It was sort of being planned, so they're getting fired, and it really was just kind of a bonus. But anyway, so be nice to people, because they might remember it and be nice to you. And Adam Traum on the guitar and Jack Hines in the bass. And those voices in my head, they actually really love each other. They just fight like siblings. You give me wheat, whites, and whites. Okay, sorry. We'll say that for a minute. Because, let's see, Willen, Margot Cole doing Susie Byam's poems. That was show 9, so this is 16. Rose Provan, who had a tantrum about the visual there, but it was fine. And I told her that y'all want more of her Shakespeare, and as I said in the thing, we will do it better. That was not planned. The piece from Sky of Smoke and Fire, Truth and Consequences, Sean Hillen, the end of the award-winning film, Nicola Salas' Important Question, and The Devil's Road, and I played the wrong song first. And we only have a little bit left, and then I'll be back to air the finale. And it's really, this is just a little bit of Stella, and one more song to settle us down called Settle Down. There's a flash from Timbo Madrid, and then we're not going to deal with any literary lotto. I'm going to be right back in a few minutes, and we're going to do the chat. So get your stuff ready, and I'm just going to play this little bit because I am. But don't worry, Regina. It's just a little. Stick around. Get your toasts ready. Toast, marshmallows, enchiladas, real stuff. Well, it's all real. We're about to hit 3 hours. Love you all, and we've maintained a good connection. I've only fucked up a couple times, and though YouTube is conquer wonkered, yes, more Shakespeare. I don't know if Rose is having a fit because I said she had a fit, or if she's there. I will point out before I forget. I put the category as pets and animals. Well, the real toast is coming, but anyway. I'm not good at being quick. Here comes settling down.
settle down, 'cause the fire's gone from the metaphor. Burn this town, all's become is an empty door. Take the path, cross the mountains for some mystery. Turn around, 'cause I'll always know what you did to me. And the sun on your shame, the sun on your shame. Across the fields, the broken bones of complicity. The kind of feels like the sting of 1,000 days. Your dirty hands skin flowers, a cloud in the blue sky. Your heart is sand in the tower, built on lullaby. All that's left is the safe word. Settle down, 'cause the fire's gone from the metaphor.
Are you okay?
Professor, are you okay?
Is the professor gonna die? I don't understand the point of it all. He said he had a stroke. But I was just so upset about all the crazy stuff that happens on the campus, and he started showing off, so I took my frustration out on him when he didn't deserve it.
Wow, I thought I was a blunt one.
Just because I'm disabled doesn't mean that I have the authority to...
Like this?
I've worked so hard to get through this.
To survive.
To endure.
That's right.
Well, you're an ableist for holding yourself back. Oh my God.
That's a blooper. That's you wrote the perfect scene. The perfect scene. No Academy Award for you. No Academy Award.
I know, that's the funny part. Exactly. Oh my god. Oh my god. Rerun.
Okay, so let's see. You're making everyone dizzy.
You gotta make you sound me.
Somebody should probably come in and help me out.
No, I meant in the actual tape. I meant in the actual tape. Oh, okay. You know?
Sit down. Honey, come back. Where are you going? Huh? I don't know anything about that stuff. I'm Russian.
He cracked up. From there. Just walk in and, oh, Professor here.
Assume he doesn't. Okay. Sorry, I messed up. Sorry. Oh, I remember now. It's way cheaper than the dorms.
Stella, what are you doing? You were playing with chords. Why did that? Get the chord. What'd you get? Hey. Good. Oh, she's a guy. Alright. Good job, Stella. The show stealer. Say cheers. The show stealer. Say hi, Stella. Movie star. Say thanks. Please support Julesworks. We love you. Thanks for watching. Yes, thank you. Good girl. Thank you. Nope, shake it off, girl. Shake it off. You'll be alright. Shake it off, Stella. Where'd you go? Still run away? That's Stella. There she is. Cheers, Stella. Thank you. Ha. Ha. Alright, y'all. There's the tail. That means it's the tail end. Thank you. All right, I am not going to say much other than it is time to watch Regina Rest and I talk, and then I'll be back for the toast finale and the Turner song finale, and then I don't know if we're going to do bonus, but we're doing well with everybody, and thank you so much, and here comes the talk and the toast. So I hope Regina's there.
I don't have a little thingy. Oh, I do.
Yeah. Hold on, I'll stop. Oh, hey there. Well, that was quite a show, huh?
It was amazing, as usual.
I mean, just how do they do it? I tell you, I know how they do it. They have help, like Stella and Magic.
They have cats.
Well, that's how you get through life, right? Trees,
Habitat.
cats, trees, something. Maybe sometimes a little something to drink, right?
Oh, you got something? I got
But
something.
in a second, I'll pour you something. Yeah, but I'm just saying how we get through life. You know, we tell stories. We got friends. We try to not have Facebook fights.
That is because Facebook fights shorten your lifespan. Don't do that.
I know. No, well, in the course of me ranting earlier, that guy, whoever the heck he is, starts telling me that what I said, sure, I'm rambling, but that it was conspiracy. I'm like, look, fuckface, they're not conspiracy theories. The military people are all talking about this new Top Gun movie is what it is. And it's military rah-rah. Nice tale, Stella. But I had to write back. I normally walk away, but I'm like, okay, I'm trying to be civil with you, dude, but fine, my shit is not cohesive, but fuck off, it's conspiracy theories, my dick. That's fucking truth. You want to not believe it, that's on you. But it is absolutely true that the military pays for a handful of movies every year, and that's why they get the military toys. This dipshit didn't know what I meant by military toys. So the movies that show off all the cool military things, the military helps pay for that. Therefore, the movie can't then have a message that is how violence sucks. The movie then has to be a pro-military movie. That's how it works. He's calling it a conspiracy theory. I want to bitch slap him. It's not a fucking. It's that ignorance that is why we're dumb. It's not. How are you gonna conspiracy theory my dick? That's a fucking truth. Look it up. Anyway, sorry to go off on that, but
you get hung up on that hook. Get off that hook because it's just a hook. You know, it's just
but do you understand why it drives me nuts? It's like that's not a conspiracy theory. If I said that whatever, Biden paid for the movie, that's a conspiracy theory. But it is absolutely true. And is in the course of the time that the dipshit pissed me off, he could have looked up that it's true. I didn't make it up. But anyway, he's whoever that is.
Well, I can say that I've never seen any of those movies because I won't see anything with violence in it. So I've missed good, bad, and the ugly movies if they have any violence whatsoever.
I was one of the things I ranted was I was trying to point out that that's fine. That's totally understandable. Is that I am not someone who won't see a movie because it's violent, but I have no interest in somebody. This is someone on someone else's thread. And the person is on my side of things. We actually showed Maddie's movie a few Julesworks ago. Maddie Gutierrez, wonderful guy, great performer. He made a post pointing out that everybody who's talking about Top Gun being a rah-rah military, how come they're not pointing out that Disney Marvel movies are also, and he's right. And I pointed out, which is a truth, because I know the fucking guys who wrote the first Iron Man 15 years ago. The first Iron Man actually has some subtext and intellect. The second one was awful because the military paid for it. And that's where it became. So I don't have a problem with violence in movies, but I have no interest in Top Gun remake or Marvel Disney movies anymore. So I was trying to back my friend's point up, but no, I'm not going to sit there and write a cohesive essay for some dipsticks on Facebook. but yeah, no, I'm not against, and also as Tarantino has said, since this is the topic that came up, and we were going to have a topic before a toast, so this is fine, is, Tarantino has been asked, and says the thing is that violence is very operatic and cinematic, and
yeah,
it is, and we talked about it in the middle piece, right, about after your piece about the universe and the chaos. I mean, it's there,
Oh, it's definitely there. I just don't find it entertaining. So I don't, in terms of human violence against human beings, I don't find it entertaining, and I don't want to, subject my molecules to it. So I don't. So
and you shouldn't. And I'm not going to watch a movie that glorifies it. I don't think a Tarantino or a Scorsese are glorifying it. They make it entertaining, particularly Tarantino. Scorsese makes it shocking, and I think I think it's fascinating. I think it's fascinating to talk about think about the difference between The Violence and Godfather, and the violence in the Scorsese, you know, but we don't have to talk about it. But, and I totally respect that that's not what somebody wants to watch, you know. And there's levels of how much you want to see of it. I've been on a Godfather kick, because when you watch something on YouTube, more of it comes up. And watching all these wonderful analyses of it and Coppola talking about it, it's also the 50th anniversary. So
I know I've seen some of that, and it's very interesting. But there was also some really brilliant acting in those movies.
Well, Godfather is not even violent, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, it has some too, in particular. I mean,
uncomfortable making things in it, but yeah. But you know, I'm an actor. I come from theater, so you know, I go.
And most of those actors did in Godfather.
I mean, my God, brilliant acting, you know. So that's
not Al Pacino. That's Michael Corleone. I mean, that is acting. If you take clips of Scarface, and you know Al Pacino's the acting in Scarface, whatever you want to say about the violence and his accent, and Corleone, and then the stuff you know that he did before and Serpico, and the stuff he's done since, that he's been in a lot of movies that aren't violent. You know, it's not the same person. He is so amazing at it without this, you know, these current actors that lose their minds to get into the role. You know, Pacino, you know, I love come on, De Niro, but he's not quite as broad as Pacino. But the way they aren't, you know what I'm saying? But these people now that end up, you know, playing the Joker and then dying because they lose it. Like that's you don't have to do that.
No,
I mean, that's sad, but yeah, no, the acting in those movies. But one thing I was going to say that I heard Coppola recently, and I actually saw the image in a clip before seeing Coppola talk about it just the other day. When the mafia went so far to get the senator on their side in Godfather 2, and the woman, the prostitute they kill. And that Coppola even saying that he couldn't look at that image, you know, which makes it very powerful for 1 second, you know. But I think, you know, Scorsese does it in a way that's probably more realistic, where his violence, there's that guy, that beep was that guy saying some nonsense to me that I'm not going to look at. Anyway, the way that it just erupts and it just, whoa. I mean, I haven't seen a whole lot of violence in my life, but I'm from Baltimore. I've seen some, and it's just like, right. But you know, human violence. But have you been around with a volcano you mentioned where I have not, where something.
I've watched them erupt. I've seen them erupt. It's just extraordinary. You know, but that's the natural world. You know, I can deal with that. I just can't deal with people being mean to people.
No, it's awful. It's awful. Right. But I guess my point is that, you know, we are part of this universe that has all this stuff. So, but no, I'd rather people be nice.
Right. And I do come from theater, and I did some serious roles, you know, like Tennessee Williams. And, you know, and so, but it's not chopping people up necessarily, other than verbally, right? Which is can be very powerful, you know, and even more harmful than, you know, just literally chopping people up. I mean, you know, if somebody somebody verbally, that's you know, and I played all kind of roles. I did a lot of comedy. I did, you know, a lot of comedy, but I also was old duchesses and then a couple of real bitches, because I was character actress. I am a character actress.
Yeah, well, you're a character too.
I'm a character. Well, if you live long enough, you grow into being a character.
I think that happened about 5 minutes into being born for me. But you too, I'm sure. You reminded me that we'll just give them a teaser that we teased them once already. That you have showed me some of those photos, Mike Nichols and other people. We don't have to get into it now. In a future Julesworks, I think we should get to where we share some of that with the audience, if you're willing.
Well, a little bit, you know. Yeah, just a
No
little
pressure.
bit.
No pressure. We'll get there if you want.
No,
but yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
But no, I just, you know, but I have met some interesting people in my life and seen some interesting people in my life, you know, but I know the one you're interested in is Mickey Rooney. That was 4 months on the road with Mickey Rooney. That was interesting.
Well, I mean, they were cool pictures and cool stuff. So I think it'd be a fun, if you're willing, in the future.
Yeah, we did comedy with Mickey Rooney.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I think maybe we can let them have the Greg Turner musical finale and any bonus if they want, and thank them for watching our May the one Sunday that we were at our show, because radio, the KMRD moving, and so the 3 hour back to 3 hours every Sunday on radio, disc jockey Jules 3 to 6, except for this Sunday that they're watching right now, which is not today for Regina and I, but that's okay. That makes my brain hurt to think any more about that. And speaking of radio, it is time for me to cover an hour. And the last time I'll be in that, the KMRD started in a basement, haunted, and we've been in this what was a completely empty warehouse owned by the woman who owns the Mine Shaft Tavern in Madrid. It is now, they knew this was going to happen, although it's been 4 or 5 years that they built it up. There's a bathroom. I joke, I'm lucky to be able to use my bathroom. That's why I sort of closed the door. If I closed that door fully, the cats would have revolted. But they built a bathroom and built this whole thing up, and now have to move out. And it's moving for the summer temporarily, and then hopefully not Stella the cat, Stella, who founded KMRD out in Madrid, with her financial backers, are going to buy a building, but it all has to be within 17 miles or less. It has to be very close to the tower for the signal. So it's complicated, and I feel so bad I have to keep moving. I'm not involved in that physical process. But anyway, so I'm doing a show this eve, but that'll be the past by the time they see this. But and you've got things to do. You've got you're going to be teaching and more of your storytelling, right? Back to life, Regina.
Back to the life of Regina, and then at some point I'll fly over to New York and teach my class there, because I teach a class at NYU once a semester. It's like, whoa.
What's the class? What's the subject?
It is called Storytelling in the Classroom, and I put "and beyond." It's about how powerful storytelling is as a tool to do anything you want. Bring peace to the world, bring chaos to the world. Stories are very powerful. So it's a class, and a lot of them are arts teachers, but a lot of them are like drama therapy people, and then a lot of folks come over from the Gallatin School, and they're going to save the world in one way or another. I love having them in the class.
What school?
Gallatin is a division of NYU, and they don't. I think they don't major in a thing. They come in with a project. Here's something I want to do, and then they get to shop around and find classes, all kind of places at NYU
that sounds like way too reasonable for American education system.
It's just I love all the students.
How dare they?
Dance ed majors and just all kind of people come in there, and look at storytelling and other arts as it's called applied storytelling.
Cool. Are they going to get to hear about the storytelling trees maybe this time?
Maybe they will. I don't know. It's like,
who knows?
Keep your roots in the ground and stay in community. They stay in community, man. But you got to have a thick. If you look at redwood trees, the bark is pretty thick and spongy. It's resilient, So you got to have thick skin. You got to stay rooted in community, but you also have to be looking to the universal. I think that's a good message. Hey, yo.
I think that's a good message, and I think that's a good way to. Let's do our toast with everybody. Ready? Oh, let's give them a countdown. Ready? 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Thank you, Regina. 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Good luck.
Salanche. I'll make up a word. And then, my mouse went to sleep. Okay, one more time. Cheers.
Cheers.
Stick around for some music and any bonus if you want it. And catch you next month. Much love. Be well. Talk to the trees. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Hi, everybody. All right. Well, thank you. One of my favorite sounds, human being. Good to have you back. Everybody, thank you so much. Ready? Esmeralda here. I'm fired. More than make the delicious sound, I got it where it shouldn't go. All right. And Rough Rider. Speaking of Teddy Roosevelt, number 39. So I had to buy it. We'll pour a little sip of that. And this is one of my favorite bargain, even at Albertsons. I just discovered it because it's new. It has a tiger. I'll sleep. He's there. There he is. Oh, he's a good boy. You can go potty anytime you want, excuse me. She's on bed. She's not in bed. Shockingly, she's on bed. By the way, while I'm making a pour to toast with you, Susan Ramirez left. But speaking of merch, Susie, and you know what that is, I'm sure. This is the hat. So when I got to the Todd Snyder show, I almost got an interview thanks to emails with Todd Snyder's people. It didn't happen this time, but he might be playing Santa Fe in the fall, and they said, but they were so nice, and the merch lady, I could tell she didn't hear me when I first said, this is Todd Snyder's concert, and then we'll toast. Yes, Regina, you rest. Thank you so much. And I'm not going to talk long. I got to get some food, too. But I want to tell the story because it's relevant. It's germane. And that was just that it was funny, because then she goes, well, I repeated my name. Oh, Stephen Jules Rubin. So there's this Todd merchandise from the last 2 years all over the place with autographs and stuff. And it's mostly her signing for Todd. Todd would draw like that too. So anyway, she hands me a bag that has, and then we'll toast to goodness and drop things. She hands me a bag. Oh, Stephen Jules Rubin. And the bag contains, this is why I was typing if you're wondering. That's one of Todd's famous songs. And I am the one he heard shout. So his concert, Todd Snyder, if you don't know, look him up, is called Pickin', Grinnin', something, and Taking Requests. So even though he pretends, and it was me, that he pretended like, you keep shouting at me, he loves it. And so I was the one that got to say, play a train song. He said, that young man, I laughed, he couldn't quite see me, although we were very close, said, play a train song. The main thing they were giving me was, so Todd's other thing is when people, for years, since the 90s, shout out Freebird, he goes, well, I got a song called Freebird. And this is Freebird from Todd and his book. That's Todd Snyder. Never met a story I didn't like. Storytelling, singer, songwriter. So let's cheers. And then we're going to hear our Greg Turner finale. And then I'll be back. The only bonus I'll probably do is opening that Jamie Harris, because I should open it. But first, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you guys. Making a mess on purpose. I know. And what was funny about the hat is I was wearing the colorful rainbow hat I had on earlier. I was wearing it. It looks like that. You saw it a few shows. It wasn't this because I forgot. I actually, when I went to change into the shirt, I went to change shirts and found that bag. I forgot about that bag. I hadn't opened it till the show, since the show a few weeks ago. So, anyway, oh gosh. Oh, so I'm wearing the other hat, and I didn't have a Todd hat. I barely found a Todd shirt, and a button. And I had my Todd membership, and that was part of why she's like, wow, you're all decked out. And then that's where she realized what it was. That's what it was. So anyway, so the story was just, here, catch. Happy Star Wars. And this, by the way, the Kenobi show I love. I don't care about the other Star Wars shows that's airing now. So I had another hat on top. I had my John Prine stuff, and a lot of other people did. And everybody thought the hat underneath is all I'm saying. Looked like it. Okay. So here is, let's do it with Pearl, although Esmeralda is beautiful. Pearl, Toast, Greg Turner, and I'll be back to say goodbye. So thank you all. Stick around for the song finale. But I'll be back to say goodbye one more time. And yes, much love. All the things have been said. I realized I metaphysical biscuit did and forgot that I was saying June will not be on a Sunday. If it's on Sunday, something's wrong, because I do radio 3 to 6 every Sunday except for this weekend. That's the whole thing about Kim Ready moving. But Saturday or Monday, probably Monday. Probably Saturdays work during quarantine times, but Mondays are what probably are going to work. But anyway, let's hear our final song, and I'll be back to say goodbye.
Dawn, the sheets pulled back and the lights turned on. Well, how long has it been since you've been gone? And now as the years decay, I still can't let go of that day. Those men said you were bad and they took you away. I heard you call my name, I hear it every day. There's no escape and I can't wait. It's the price that I must pay. I walk out into the street, and each new set of eyes I meet, they're cold and distant, marbles made of stone. Must I surrender to this madness, to negotiate such a life of sadness? There's no place left to go, to be alone. I heard you call my name, I hear it every day. There's no escape and I can't wait. It's the price that I must pay. Could this be some kind of weird illusion that's settling in my mind to ease the pain? Their shadows creep with secret dark delusion. Oh, they contaminate my moments of the day. I heard you call my name, I hear it every day. There's no escape and I can't wait. It's the price that I must pay. That's right, I heard you call my name, I hear it every day. There's no escape and I can't wait. It's the price that I must pay. All right.
All right, hey there. I don't know if I didn't change my shirt for Ramirez, but I don't know if she saw it. But anyway, so real quick, thank you all so much. Let's just see what we have in here. This was Jamie Harris and Mary Gauthier, which is Jamie's. mystery bag that I have been saving to open, Key West. And it's written to me. I think I need a flashlight. Let's see. No. Oh my God, look at that handwriting. Ah. All right. Hey, Stefan, I'm getting new glasses this week. I gotta look up the world famous conch tour train. Beautiful handwriting. Hey, Stephen, thank you so much for your continued support. I hope one day this hot sauce from my favorite Cuban joint, and I hope you dig? Well, whatever it says. Dig, yes. Key West, and it's great with everything underlined. Lol, I particularly like it on face, bleach, beans. Not face. Rice, black beans, and chicken. Well, I was going to see if I could order something like that. I hope all is well in New Mexico. That's from Jamie Harris, Key West. Oh, thank you, Susie. That's sweet. And this is almost over because I gotta get something to eat. I mean, it might be too late. I couldn't find something. And we have hot sauce. Kind of hot sauce. Holy shit, this looks serious. So you can order these mystery bags. I love it. She hand tailors. Key West hot sauce. That's gonna fuck someone's face up. Great. We need that. There's a rubber band. I probably need that someday. And it looks like we have a shirt that yeah, okay. If anybody wants a Red Rescue shirt, I have a couple. I'll be happy to send it to you. Particularly Susie, if you don't have one. Or I'll just wear it. But let me know. You have a few minutes to answer that. You can't have my hot sauce. She sent it to me. Is there something else in there? Oh, hey. That's not all. Oh, no. I put that back. Okay. Good people. As Reverend Todd Snyder would say, Seacrest out. Julesworks out. Much love. Peace. Be good. Thank you so much. It's really been great. 3 hours and 37 minutes. That's a great number. By the way, Susan Ramirez mentioned Otis Gibbs, a very talented musician who played with Todd on the East Coast a bit just now. And there's a great YouTube channel that we watch that you can watch free. Otis Gibbs, and he took questions, and what Susan Ramirez had typed a little bit ago, we hadn't seen Susan for a while, was that she saw Otis reading a maybe Susie question, and they're very funny because Otis is not usually made to crack up and such. Susie, somehow, something funny happened, I forget, but it was cool. But I think it's really time to make sure I get something to eat. I could eat frozen pizza, but I got the time and energy if there's time. So, Sunday night, thank you all. And what time is it? I guess I'd usually just be coming home with dinner by now from Madrid. Anyway, so Esmeralda, a few of you are still there, I think. Although that could be my, Susan's gone. She's gone. That could be my alter egos. I'm going to, let's see, this guy's going away. My computer needs to rest too. So, all right. Thank you all so much. And I am going to end the stream. So if anyone watches this later, thank you. You can scroll through. I try to remember to put the running order in the comments. And probably, real quick, Monday, date. I think we're talking about end of June. Oh, I did mention mid-June. First of all, next Sunday, what we were saying, if anyone's still listening, is on the Metaphysical Biscuit on KMRD FM, 3 to 6 Mountain Time, hopefully in around the 4 to 5:30 range, 3:30. Shiny Ribs Kevin Russell, who's playing Thursday after. We'll see if I get a mail. Anyway, I'll find something. Is going to be zooming in. I got to coordinate this week. That's the plan. Next Sunday on my radio show. And then Hayes Carl this summer, I think we'll get him on. So anyway, June, my middle of the month, it looks like, although what I said I forgot to do was contact my mom to get the flight. I'm going to visit my family, I think. She's already got her ladies with mallets for another crab feast. I don't even have a ticket. And to go to my 30th high school reunion. Me and all of Baltimore's cool black folks. And I can't wait because I never get to see those people. Thank you all. I went to all black schools in Baltimore. But the date, Father's Day, fuck you. Sorry, dead dads. End of June. Go away. I don't even know who Claudia. Okay. So I think we're talking about the 27th, St. Peter. What? Oh, it's a Chilean holiday. Perfect. That's probably the day, Monday the 27th. But stick around, and thank you, or not stick around, but you know what I meant. Okay, much love. I'm going to shut up. Goodbye. Peace and love, man. Be good. Y'all are wonderful. Hey, if you're hearing this, you are good.